Rage on that beat, going crazy.
Well, hello there, everyone, and welcome to week 2 of the Free Fire Tri-Nation Cup. My name is Danielle. I'll be your host for a wonderful day of Free Fire, and of course, I've got some wonderful gentlemen with me right now. I have Shadow Banjo and Abstract, who will be our wonderful casters for today. Welcome to the show, gentlemen.
Oh, thanks for inviting us, and we're glad to be on the show.
Yeah,
Thank you for joining
week 2,
me
day
as well.
1 now. So thank you so much for having
Awesome.
us. I'm interested to see what's gonna happen today.
I know all of us are really looking forward to today's matches. Now, of course, let's take a look at the schedule for today to see what's going to be in the running for all the teams, but of course, us and who we are going to be seeing in our upcoming matches. Before we do take a look at the schedule, gentlemen, I have to say, do you have any favorite teams looking at groups A, B, and C?
No Escape for sure is going to be my favorites for the tournament.
Yeah, I mean, No Escape does have a really good run in Kalahari. So, I mean, since you're going for No Escape, I would just say that I probably have my eyes on No X-Men Esports, especially since they are pretty well-rounded in the maps in Bermuda as well as Purgatory.
Yep.
Absolutely. And in case anyone's wondering what's kind of happened with the groups, for Group A, we have 4 remaining teams, as 2 teams have voluntarily decided to remove themselves from the tournament. It was possibly due to personal issues. We don't quite have the details, but we aren't going to be seeing those 2 teams. So therefore, we're only left with 4 teams. So Group A, B, and C will continue as per usual. So, of course, let's move on to today's upcoming series and see what kind of maps we could be looking at for today's matches. As always, it will be Group A versus B for our first match, B versus C for our second match, and A versus C for our final series of the day. And today's maps is going to be Bermuda and Purgatory. This is going to be good as well because last week we had a lot of Kalahari. We had 2 days of Kalahari, so it looks like we're going to be seeing the other two maps for a change. The team's looking very comfortable on Bermuda, as well as Purgatory being a very large map. I'm very interested to see how some of these teams sort of play around the Purgatory, if it's going to be a similar style to Bermuda, where teams are very aggressive, or if they might resort to a more slower paced game style that we've been seeing quite a lot on Kalahari. Of course, we could be looking at a completely different style from all these teams as well, because being week 2, these teams, they've played against each other. They're going to have a feel of how the teams love to play. They're losing routes. So, of course, it's going to be down to the teams to sort of figure out who is going to be able to eliminate the top. Because, of course, for anyone that tuned in last week, No Escape were the dominating team of the league so far. So we'll see if they can keep their crown, or maybe someone will come in today and snatch that right up. So let's take a look at the teams as well participating in our first series of the day. Don't forget, folks, as well, we do have our placement points. First team that gets Booyah will get 20 points. That's the equivalent of 10 kills. And then, of course, second place will get 17, 15 points for third, 13 for fourth, 12 for fifth, 10th for sixth, and, of course, 6, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then 0 points for the last team. And, of course, if you get eliminated first, you're not going to be too happy with that. And again, as a reminder, folks, 2 points per kill is the game here. And, of course, a couple of teams have been utilizing those kills and have been on a rampage looking for blood and, of course, securing those kills as well. So let's take a look at Group A. We have 4 X-Men Esports. These guys have been doing fantastic. They have been securing a lot of booyahs over the course of last week. And of course, everyone's going to be looking to these guys in Group A. We've got Genesis All-Stars also in Group A. Moving on in Group A, we have LCMY Bosco, who's actually been doing pretty well. These guys are currently a underdog squad, so we could be looking for a comeback for them today. Hopefully they have some new strats up their sleeve. And then we have Supreme Assault Force, which is the only Filipino team in Group A. Now, of course, you do need to look at Group B. This team is loaded with Filipino squads. We have AV Elite, which a lot of teams were looking to AV and maybe thinking, okay, these guys, they're going to be the top contenders. A little disappointing last week, so hopefully they do start to kick things up a little bit. Then we have AXA Dream Team and, of course, Bloody Head. Moving on for Group B. We also have Hard to Get, who's also been playing very kill heavy last week. They weren't quite able to get the placement points, but hopefully we are looking to see them play and grab those kills again for this week. We also have LCMY Gregory, and of course Raw Squad. These two teams, they are the only Malaysian teams in this bracket. And then finally for Group C, for anyone that has been keeping an eye on Group C, this team, or at least you're going to know one of these teams that played fantastically last week. We have Auto Knockout as our first team in Group C. Baby Argon, one of the top contenders currently in Group C, a very promising team coming up from Malaysia. And also the members of this team are very young. As far as I was told, or at least reminded last week, I think the average age for this squad, or the youngest, was 15, which in terms of esports, that is very young to come into the scene. So keep your eyes out on Baby Argon. They have been doing fantastic last week. Of course, we also have Eclipse. And our final teams for Group C, I am very sure some of you are going to be very familiar with the team in the middle. As of now, we've got Legend Rumble also in Group C. No Escape, currently the top of the charts from last week's matches. No Escape, a lot of people are going to be looking to No Escape this week to see if they can maintain their first placing. And then, of course, we have Special Army MY as our last squad for Group C. For anyone that missed last week's matches, here are the standings for last week. We have No Escape currently sitting on 3 booyahs on Kalahari and with a whopping 259 points. And if you take a look at their kill points as well, they are also leading by a large margin. They've also got some great placement points, of course, because they did secure 3 booyahs last week. So a lot of people are going to be looking to No Escape to maintain that placement, especially with all the kills that they got. 4X-Men is the next team to come up in second place. It seems like for 4X-Men, they have been focusing more on placement, not so much kills. As you take a look at their kills, it's a significant ways behind No Escape. We'll see if 4X-Men continue to focus on placements, or if maybe they start to put some more emphasis on those kills for this week. Hard to Get is sitting on third. Lots of kills, decent placement points as well. So Hard to Get playing very well-rounded Free Fire so far. Then we have Baby Argon in fourth place with 2 booyahs, followed by Auto Knockout, LCMY Gregory. Moving on to the middle of the brackets, we have AV Elite. A lot of people looking to AV Elite to bring it up for the Filipinos. Unfortunately, they haven't quite done it last week, so hopefully we could see a bit of a change here for AV Elite to bring it back up for their Filipino fans. We've also got Eclipse, AXA Dream Team in 9th, 10th for Legend Rumble, actually tied with Supreme Assault Forces. Both of these teams are sitting on 100 points each. 12th, we have Raw Squad with 96 points. And then the lower brackets, we have LCMY Bosco sitting on 94 points, followed by Bloody Head, Special Army MY, and Sorry Meta Esports, who unfortunately are only sitting on 32 points. So, gentlemen, we had a lot of stats to work with for last week, and I think one of the biggest stats for us is the booyahs and what maps these teams have been securing their booyahs on. So I kind of want to hear your thoughts on what we could be expecting for this week's matches.
Right. So far, we have been seeing Kalahari being dominated by No Escape and the aggressive style that they have been playing in Kalahari. So, understandably, I would probably think that people, all these teams playing in Kalahari, probably may want to go for a little bit more of that passive gameplay. They do not want to meet up against No Escape because it does seem like, well, Kalahari is their forte after all. While on the other maps, for I believe that it was Bermuda, it was pretty passive. So people will start to want to scramble around and try to get themselves some fresh meat.
Yep, as mentioned by Abstract, I think these teams today in particular, because these maps today are going to be Bermuda and Purgatory, of course, teams will be a little bit more passive. They're not going for the super high frag movie kills, montages or whatnot. And yeah, I'm excited to see how the teams play off in Bermuda, especially because Bermuda is a map that is so diverse since the last time I casted for Free Fire, because Bermuda is a map, it's either you go all out, or you're just going to stay passive from the early game to the end of the game. So I'm just excited to see what happens in our first game of the day.
Absolutely. And I kind of want to ask you, gentlemen, as well, because this seems to be a pretty important thing. No Escape have been dominating Kalahari. I think everyone knows that. Everyone that watches the games last week, seeing how they play, it just seemed like the perfect map for No Escape. But there's no Kalahari today. Do you think this is actually going to be a pretty big factor in how we're going to be seeing No Escape play?
No Escape may drop down in leaderboards. We don't really know that, but in the end, I would still say that even if they don't gun for the placement points, they can still get a lot of kills in all the other maps that are in Purgatory as well as Bermuda, which I think that they should be able to pull off.
Yeah, and today's matches, I think particularly we're gonna be looking close onto 4X-Men, because I think they have two booyahs on Bermuda and 2 on Purgatory. So I think these are the maps they're comfortable with today, and I hope to see them pop off. And we don't know for sure, but there is No Escape in the leaderboards, and so as I think you mentioned AV Elite as well as one of the Filipino teams that are kind of heavy frag teams in a certain extent. But yeah, like I'm just gonna keep a close eye onto 4X-Men Esports, because they're the team to see, I think, for today.
Yeah, speaking of playstyles, so last week we actually managed to get an interview with one of the Filipino teams. It was one of the members from AXA Dream Team. And I asked them, was there a difference in playstyle between Malaysians and the Filipinos? And according to AXA Dream Team, it seems that Malaysians focus a lot more on placement points, whereas the Filipino teams, they actually prefer kill points. Do you feel like this difference in playstyle is actually going to cause a lot of havoc for this week? Because of course everyone's played against each other last week. We're going to start seeing new strats. Is there anything that we could expect with those kinds of clashing playstyles?
It's kind of tough to say. You see, when there is a meta in the country, like let's say for Malaysia, they're more towards the placement points. That means that typically they would want to head down and look for some cover in order for them to kind of camp inside of the circle, or they would want to head off early to get themselves at the top of the hill, just so that they can have the bird's eye view and, well, basically be the first one at the top of the hill to kill literally anyone that tries to climb it. While for the aggressive style players, they're just going to be looking at the extremities of the circle. They're just going to do breach tactics onto buildings and do whatever that they can just to get kills. So in some sense, the aggressiveness kind of lose towards the passiveness that the Malaysians have. So the Philippine side may actually find themselves in a slightly disadvantageous situation, provided if all of their marksmanship is on par.
I think for playstyle wise, yes, definitely have to agree with you. This is gonna clash for sure, as what Abstract just said. Like, if more to aggressive playstyle, it would definitely breach into buildings and such to attack onto the more passive players in like that loves to camp in buildings or maybe have a bird's eye view. But I think in most certain extent, aggressive playstyle still wins the game because one kill. But ladies and gentlemen, please remember, one kill is equals to 2 points. If you get 10 kills, let's say you wipe out 2 squads and a half, you already got your first place booyah point, which is 20 points. But if you continue it out with the booyah as well, you'll get a whopping 40 plus points. And I think I love to see the Philippine teams play aggressively on a game like Free Fire because I've seen a lot of aggressive teams that played on Free Fire in the past recent tournaments, but I don't know what's the meta now. But I have to say that there is definitely going to be a clash in between the play styles. So as well as it might cause some what do you call it? What's the word for it? It's going to cause a little bit of hell towards the Filipino teams because the Filipino teams definitely going to look for kills, but they have to find the kills. That is going to be they got to find the kills because Malaysia is definitely going to be playing passively, like as what Abstract mentioned. So yeah, I would like to see how the Filipinos play today to see how they're going to maneuver around the buildings and so as a maneuver on the map to actually get more kills for themselves.
Yeah. Of course, we've also seen last week as well. There's a lot of distinct play styles. We've got some teams that play around the edge of the bubble. They sort of want to play off of picking off teams that might be coming in a little bit late from that safe zone. And then we have other teams. I think this is something I'm not sure about you. Maybe you can sort of discuss this. A lot of the top contending teams, they play around the center of the map. They like to play in the inner circle and they decide where they want to go, whereas teams that want to focus more on getting those placement points that feel like they're struggling, they have been playing on the outer circle of the map. Do you think that playing on the outer circle is considered safer, or is there some kind of benefit to playing on the outside?
Right now, it is really dependent on what kind of their playstyle, how what the situation is, and of course looking at the flight path of the map. But ultimately, if you are in the center of the circle, that means that you are going for hyper passive kind of gameplay. You are not really interested in going in any kinds of skirmishes and whatnot. While playing in the extremities of the circle, you do have a chance to meet up with people who are trying to get inside of the circle, or perhaps just kind of wrap around the extremities and try to look for new places to go or look for new activities that's going on around the map. So it is a good way in order to get yourself some placement points and also get some kills, but they have to balance it accordingly. In the early stages, you can go for kills, but at the later stages, you gotta have to make a move for it and try to get to the center of the circle just to make sure that you stay alive long enough to get that final 4 kill or maybe 8 kills on the last straggling team.
Yeah, I have to agree with Abstract.
Sorry, continue.
Sorry, Daniel. Okay, I have to agree with Abstract because when you stay like really like I should say, like if you stay really like in the center of the entire zone in the circle, you're definitely going to be hyper passive. But if you are one of the teams that likes to play in the edge or maybe even a little outside of the zone, you're definitely going to get a lot of kills because people are going to be walking into the circle without noticing that you're even there. If you have good cover, you get to third party anyone else that's going to be fighting around the map, and definitely going to pick up some more and more kills, and the kill points will just go way up and higher by then.
All right, gentlemen, I do believe the game is just about to begin. So, Abstract and Shadow Banjo, take it away for us, the best series of the day.
All right, thank you so much, Denley, and it is about time for us to be taking a look at what exactly we have for this game onwards. And of course, we are looking at Bermuda for game number 1 between A versus B. And looking at it all, we should pretty much be taking a look at how the circle is right about now. And, well, Shadow, what do you think that this? What do you think about this current map, the current circle, and the positioning of the players?
Oh, on this circle, on this particular map, like Bermuda, as you mentioned just now, everyone is playing a little bit passive, and they're just gonna try and get picks. Just try picks off, or maybe even try and third party some other teams. But right now, you can see War Squad already with 4 kills. Maybe they wiped out a squad early on that we didn't catch on screen. But none other than that, teams are going to be relatively passive and going to be camping onto the buildings, holding onto their grounds, and not going to make any extra movements. But we can see GS Star Genesis is going to be making a move towards a rotation. It might rotate to the center of the map because they're right outside Catalystua. And they're just hoping to get any kills that, like I just mentioned, because they're going to be third partying if they play on the edge of the circle.
And right now, the circle does seem to be somewhere in the center region, but kind of pushed down to the southern part just a little bit. So it's just going to be cover a little bit of Katulistiwa, the entirety of Bimasakti Strip, Clock Tower, Factory, Birchenok, as well as Peak, and understandably, if we are going to be seeing any teams that's just going to be right smack in the center of zone number 3, then we can pretty much understand who is more of that hyper passive kind of team, and of course understanding where the choke points really are. As the second zone is coming into a close, we are looking at the third circle right now, which is right around Peak area. We do have kind of Bimasakti Strip inside of it, or rather right in the center of that. So I would suppose that a choke zone is probably right inside of Bimasakti Strip, not really around the extremities or whatsoever. Whoever were to head towards Bimasakti, towards the northeastern side of the current circle, that is gonna be, pretty scary.
Yep, and just now I think we saw Genesis had a small confrontation with one of the teams right downhill as they're rotating. But right now, we can see these two teams are gonna head on. So AV is trying. I think they're trying to contest Genesis onto the cover, but right now everyone is still holding their ground, not making any sudden actions because placement points is one of the ways to go and win yourself some more points in this particular in this tournament. So teams are going to be slightly playing more passive, as you said, Abstract. So not many action is going to be happening. So circle has just been sounded. It's going to be shifting towards the west side. But Toby gets dropped by one of the members from Raw Squad and gets finished off as well. That's a kill for Yun, and two remaining members of DT is going to be camping away, and they're just going to fall back because Raw Squad is going to be gatekeeping outside of the circle. They have nowhere to run at all.
My oh my, and now things are starting to get a little bit tricky for most of these teams. And looking at it, it does seem like we do have a couple of teams that have picked up themselves some pretty good amount of kills, while Hard to Get have gotten themselves with yet another kill to their name. Raw Squad themselves have also gotten themselves with a total of 5 kills. A good amount of kills all around the board, to be honest. But now with the circle pushing right in, there may be some difficulties for DT to actually come into the circle because we do have some players that's actually gatekeeping.
Yep, 4X Man still in the circle holding on, but Raw Squad is going to be gatekeeping some of the members from DT. I think they spot out one of the members from DT, but right now, with 4X Man engaging onto another team right in front of them. Right now, they're dropping very low, but 4X Man, Mancal has been dropped down onto the glow wall, being breakdown as well. They're going to pop another glow wall for the cover. Raw Squad is going to be going on to DT as well. They're going to be 5 shots fired. Not going to be dropping anyone just yet, but gets a knockdown, but he gets a kill. AXA Drifting gets ace on. This is going havoc. Chaos happening left and right. 4X-Men Esport will be taking down another team as well. Raw squatting himself for 6 kills. Shots being fired. Nothing happening just yet, but all the teams is going to be playing right outside the circle. And the circle has shifted towards Remasa. And this is not looking good for Team Raw Squad because Genesis has the cover to actually play the third eye view. That's going to be that's going to be Raw Squad. There's going to be no cover for them as well on that particular area.
It does seem like AXA as well as I believe for X-Men is already down and eliminated, and now we are looking at a confrontation between GS as well as Raw Squad. How exactly is this going to be? Well, in the meantime, we're also going to be taking a look at how to get. They did manage to deploy out their cover and just to make sure that there is going to be some cover in between of themselves and the opponents. But Bosco is just going to be eliminated at Snake's place while Sonic 2 is just going to be heading right out from this cover. Picks one right on Raw Squad. Just going to be waiting for the opportunity to just run straight in. And Raw Squad, unfortunately for them, is going to be eliminated at number 5.
Not hard to get. Is still going to be fighting with one of the members. I believe it's going to be from DT, or if I'm mistaken, because I can't really see that properly. But hard to get is going to be moving on forward with 10 kills already. They're going to be having the high ground. They're going to be shooting down from up the hill down towards the hill. And this is not going to be looking at 3 teams alive, 11 left alive. Teams are going to be firing on glow walls getting popped. They're trying to move down here to get secure all these kills and maybe secure even some areas for themselves, trying to get cover. The circle has been shifted towards the northwest side, so teams have to move. Like Genesis All-Star, they have to haul ass because they're not going to be moving into the cover. But oh my god, Red Panda with the Dragunov kill onto one of the members from Hard to Get, and Batman and Voidface is going to be stuck onto the hill with suppressing fire coming down from down the hill. Oh my god! Jacker getting onto the kill with Fax, and this is not looking good for Genesis All-Star. Batman get the kill onto Star as well, finishing it off.
This is looking to be quite a disaster for all the other teams. Oh, Genesis All-Stars is now eliminated. We're looking at how to get rushing straight in. They do not have the good positioning, but it does seem like they are just making things tougher and tougher for themselves, because AV Elite, they have been taking one after another members down coming in from here, and they are just going to be rushing straight in. We do have how to get. It's just going to be eliminated almost immediately, and AV Elite gets themselves the immediate booyah for game number 1.
I think we just mentioned about AV Elite Abstract that they're going to be playing super aggressive and they're going to be securing themselves the booyah for this turn. But like we just said, aggressive versus passive. Aggressive always wins the passive, but sometimes passive wins the aggressive, but it depends on the circumstances where AV Star or they got themselves the advantage onto the covers around the premises and they just held their ground. They're playing the Malaysian playstyle, I believe, because they held their ground for so long. They get a total, I think, a lot of kills going on around because they were getting kills left, right, down, center. I mean, they landed some very nice shots on the Genesis All-Star that I'm damn speechless. Like AV, Team AV, you're just speechless. You're making me speechless.
I think for AV Elites, right, what they have done is kind of merge the two play styles to kind of match their own. They do have, the Malaysian side does have a little bit more of that passive gameplay, while for the Philippine side, they are more on the aggressive. So they're just going to be working their way around with their aggressive play style in the early stages of the game, which allowed them to get a little bit more kills before they even head towards the late stages, right? So only during the time when the late stages happens, and of course looking at that final circle thing, they would want to take cover inside of the new circle, or rather in the last circle, just so that they can gatekeep whoever is trying to come in. Because the circle is so small, if you manage to find a cover right smack center of that circle, you pretty much have a view out of everywhere. You can pretty much expect fire from everywhere. So it's kind of like high risk, high reward kind of thing, except that you have cover while the opponents doesn't. So AV Elite have definitely made themselves, well, be the elites that they are, and manage to take themselves, give themselves the booyah number 1, or rather number 2 already. This should be their second booyah.
Yeah, this is their second booyah already, and due to the fact they start off the day with a bang. I mean, they mix and match their playstyle into like they're just combined with like, I don't know, they're like the hybrid meta that's gonna be popping off on Group A versus B in particular. So I'm kind of see how next game is gonna be. I'm surprised. No, sorry. Let me rephrase. I'm excited to see how game number 2 is gonna be going on, because we're moving on to Purgatory, which is a totally entire different map, and it's kind of a for X-Men kind of a map due to last week's performance, because they got 2 booyahs on Purgatory already, as well as as I think AV Elite was one of the teams that almost got a booyah, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not. Don't quote me. Okay. So yeah, I'm just excited to see how things are going because AV Elite just showed up strong. They held. I mean, with the play style that I'm seeing from AV Elite is definitely this kind of a mixed hybrid kind of a meta, but as well as Genesis All Star. I think the Malaysian teams, the rotations are a bit slow. I can say for C, because when the
Mm-hmm.
circle shifts, I see a lot of Philippine teams. They instantly rotate. Like they know the circle shifted there, instantly rotate. They don't wait. They just haul their butts to get to the circle as fast as they could, and they just held their ground and gatekeep as much players as they could. But I like the Malaysian players' mentality as well because they gatekeep as well. Because I saw some of the teams like Genesis All Star or maybe even 4X Men, they gatekeeped a lot to get themselves more kills as well as get themselves like further up to the placements. And like that's what I want to see in a game like Free Fire. This diverse gameplay.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, the game is the game and play style is going to be ultimately evolving game after game after game. Because if there are going to be teams that's always going to be hanging around the perimeters of the circle, the extremities rather, and you just know that there's a lot of people going to be there. So the only way that you can one up them is just to play slightly closer to the center of the circle, but still, kind of at the outer region, just so that you are able to voucher whoever is going to be at the edge of the circle. Because if you keep your presence, if you keep a presence, short and really unknown, like a Spectre, for example, and you're just going to be just staying there, not gonna shoot a single shot, don't expose yourself, and wait for people at the extremity of the circle to shoot at whoever is at outside of the circle, and that is the point of time where you can just jump right in, voucher them, third party them, do whatever that you want, stab that in the back, and get yourself four free kills, 8 free points.
Yep. Totally agree with you. And so as well, I think I love how the Philippine teams use the glow walls for their aggression. It's really eye-opening because most teams, they just use glow wall for covers. Yes, they use it for
Mhm.
pushes as well, but they don't use it how the Filipino teams use it, because Filipino teams, they
Indeed.
absolutely know when to use it, and they put it on and the timing for the glow walls is so perfect that you will get annoyed. If I'm in that game particularly, I will get annoyed because glow walls are hard to break. I think it would take like 3 to 4 M10 14 shots to actually break down a glow wall. And the way that the Filipino teams play on like around the glow wall as well to like secure kills for themselves, or like make aggressive pushes for themselves, is actually kind of eye opening. Like I would like to see more of that from the Malaysian teams, because Malaysian teams are a little bit passive onto the glow walls. They're not making any aggressive pushes because glow walls are kind of a aggressive, like a passive aggressive kind of a utility, because you can play around it,
Mhm.
you can push with it,
Indeed.
and you can even sometimes cause distraction. Because let's say like you're rotating, teams are shooting you from one other side, you just pop the glow wall there and you can rotate the other way, pop some more glow walls, rotate the other way, cause some distraction. I just want to see more diverse gameplay with the glow walls itself.
And also, speaking of that, right, we have saw how AV Elites has used the glow wall to just be able to just push right onto the opponents, and I believe that the second last team was hard to get. So, looking at the gameplay, I can pretty much understand why they did what they did, right? Because in the Philippines meta, they are aggressive, and typically, from what I can remember and what I can expect, is that typically, if you are inside of the circle and you are safe, this is the point of time where you just stay inside of your house and wait for the opponents to come rushing in, because there are only one or two doors that you can get inside, and the only way that you can kill people is just looking at the door or peeking through the door, or perhaps go through the door or look at a window, right? So typically, I would say passive players such as Malaysian players would probably stay inside of their house and take the opponent out one after another. Although that may be a long-winded fight, it still gets the job done. While the Philippines team, they do things a little bit different. They rush straight at them, no mercy.
Yep. And so as well, I don't see any grenade usage out
Oh
from
yeah.
these particular, like in these certain situations where that there are passive players hiding inside buildings. Grenades are the way to flush them out. There's no doubt about it. Grenades, Molotovs is gonna be the way to flush out your opponents when they are holding the fort onto their compounds. Because none of that, because the compounds are very particularly small in Free Fire. I can say, because there's only like a few, like let's say there's a tall building, the two, like in that specific room, there's only 2 to 4 windows. You lob one. Eventually, you might get a knockdown, and eventually you can start pushing up and get yourself a further kill. So yeah, I like to see more grenade usage coming out from the Philippine teams, as well as for the Malaysian teams. Because if you're holding the fort and you like basically you throwing out grenades out from your compound, it's gonna be scaring your opponents away. Your opponents will think twice before even coming near to your compound that you're holding on.
Yeah, it does absolutely make sense. If you're going to be aggressive and you do want to have some breach tactics in there, you would probably want to use the grenades as number one, a diversion, or number two, a killing tool, where that is how they're designed to kill people. And in the event you don't get to kill people, at least you know that that specific area is slightly cleared. It's a good way of zoning people out of the area that you would want to possibly enter into. So the best way that you would want to clear a building is, nade the door or nade the window, just so that you have a clear passageway inside. And that is that is also probably the time that you can erect up the glow wall.
Yep, and so as well, I saw some players using the grenade launcher, which is kind of fascinating because grenade launchers are a fun type of weapon, and so as well, it's kind of
no, it's not. It's not fun.
no, it's hey man, it's kind of a fun type weapon because I see some players they how to put it this way, they just like to play around with the grenade launcher so much that they forgot to pick up grenades. Just eventually, they just use the grenade launcher as the grenades. I'm just saying. I'm putting out there because I just saw. I think AV Elite was one of the members using the grenade launcher. Sorry, excuse me. The grenade launcher is actually to flush out the opponents up on top of the hill. So I think that's a pretty good setup coming from AV Elite. And yeah, I'm gonna hope for more grenade action coming in from the side of like either teams from Malaysia or even the Philippines, because grenades aren't really utilized in this game. I see from what I see so far.
I mean, to be fair, a grenade launcher consists of grenades. So they are using grenades after all.
Okay, yep, they are using. Okay, you got me. Okay, so eventually they have grenade launchers, but what if you don't get a grenade launcher? Eventually, you need grenades. And the glow walls aren't gonna save you from grenades. Actually, the glow walls might even kill you. Like if you're tossing a grenade. Because I saw some matches in previous tournaments. I'm not gonna name the teams that just got blown off by the grenades when they're using the glow wall. I'm not gonna name them, but I saw some really unfortunate circumstances that they pop a glow wall, the grenade just got lobbed by the opponent team, and it lands right in front of you. In your glow wall. So that's a big yikes for that's a really unfortunate. Yep, that's a big yikes coming up from those circumstances. But Abstract, what do you think? What does the Malaysian team needs in terms of play style? Because we've seen AV Elite how they play on the first match. Well, audience, don't quote us on this first, but AV Elite is showing us more of a mixed, hybrid, diverse kind of gameplay right now. So what are the options for the Malaysian teams to actually stand up to contest these kind of play styles?
They probably need a single sniper. We have not seen a lot of sniper in this game, although we did catch a couple of kills with the Dragunov. But other than that, we need some bold action snipers going on about. It may not necessarily be very good against rushes or aggressive gameplay, but it does help a lot if we are talking about people that is within the central of the circle wanting to deal with the stragglers who are in the extremities of the circle. It is great because all you gotta do, land a single body shot, call that person out, and your teammate can just eventually wipe the other team out, because all you need is a single shot of sniper and a couple of shots to the body from a assault rifle, and the person's done. You don't really have to think so much about it. And I mean, understandably, you still have to land your shot with a sniper, and that is not an easy thing to do. But regardless, if you are a good sniper, then you are definitely gonna be a force to be reckoned with. So whatever that you got to do, if you want to deal with rushes, if you want to deal with aggressive players, they have to get from far to close. So why not take the chance from to kill them from far first before they even come close to you?
Yep, I totally agree with you, Abstract. Totally agree. As you said, like we saw some Dragonov plays, and I think I saw one of the members from Team 4 X-Men. They picked up a car
Mm-hmm.
98, and I'm definitely gonna expect the ARM pickup anytime soon because the AWM is one of the most, the most strongest sniper in the game. Like I think two
Mm-hmm.
shots to the body will get knocked out instantly, or maybe even with just one shot
Oh,
if
definitely.
you have a level
I
one vest.
just two
Okay,
shots. One
just two
shot in the
shots.
head. You just need one shot in the head and two shots in the body.
Yep, yep, definitely. So one shot into the head, two shots to the body. I think snipers are gonna be the play for teams for the teams like for X-Men if they're holding like really passive or maybe they want to gatekeep. If you see them from far away, like, yes, snipe them off. But eventually, if the teams know how to contest with the snipers, because I saw some teams they like if they know how to contest the snipers have no chance unless the sniper makes a play like makes a like unsalty play. You won't expect a sniper play at all because sometimes I don't think snipers are really necessary in a game like Free Fire, but it is a necessity if you are playing passively. But yeah, I have to agree with Astrag. Like we would love. I think I would love to see some Kar 98 sniper action or maybe
Me
even some
too.
sniper action.
I mean, the fact that we are looking at squad games, it does discourage the players to play a little bit of that plays or even Kar 98 plays because once you get them shot down from far, then they're just gonna be picked up. It's gonna be that easy to deal with. While in solos, which I've seen before in the Free Fire Europe solos, all you gotta do get one to the head, immediate kill, get 2 points, those kind of stuff. So it encourages a lot of sniper plays. While in squad plays, things are gonna be a little bit different. But I still think that a sniper rifle is still ultimately quite a valuable item to have, a valuable gun to have, and is going to be one heck of a cannon in your arsenal. Why not?
Yep, yep. Why not? But yeah, I think next match will be Purgatory. If I'm not mistaken, am I correct? It's gonna be
Mhm.
Purgatory, right? So yeah, next
Yeah,
match
yeah.
is gonna be Purgatory. We're gonna be excited to see how 4X-Men is gonna play out because this is the map that they're gonna be comfortable with, and we're gonna going into match number 2 straight away. Right now, this is going to be showing on the flight path, and look at these teams are going to be playing. And all eyes on 4X-Men and all eyes on AV Elite because AV Elite has showed up strong. So flight path is particularly is going to go from the south to the northeast side, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, we can't exactly see too much of it, but in the meantime, we are looking at how AV Elite is just going to be parachuting down right outside of Ski Lodge, which is right smack in the eastern side of the circle. And I would have expected that more teams would probably want to hit their way down towards the southern side, just so that they can heat up onto Lumber Mill, Fire Brigade, as well as Central, because all these three places are a great place to go. You do have good amount of item drops, good loot, and it is very convenient as well.
Yep, good item coverage, good good area coverage, and they always have the high ground. So I mean, Ski Lodge is a place where you hang around those places, you get tons of loot, and you're just gonna be hanging around, get up to higher ground and potentially spotting people off the map and potentially sniping them off if you get a sniper rifle in an instant if you get the loot over there. But teams are going to be looting up still, as we can see the M1014 being picked up by one of the. Oh, these two teams are going to be holding on to their
Ooh.
horses. Yep.
That's what
They're
I'm
going to be
talking
contesting
about.
each other.
Heading to Central.
Yep.
Central is a great place to be, but it also means that you may have quite some competitors to go over. And not just Central. You may expect some people to be in Fire Brigade as well as Lumber Mill. So once they're done killing one another in here, expect some vouchers to come swooping in.
Yep. And I think LCMY Gregory one of the members. I think B we spotted out a few members already from the other side of DT. I think he spotted out Jekka already, but not making any moves. They're just gonna be waiting cautious. But 4X-Men is gonna be close by, just across the island. They might get some free picks from long range if they manage to. But LCMI Gregory is going to be not. They're still not going to be making any moves just yet. They're still going to be waiting really passively, and just going to hold the fort, hold the ground first, and get the kills later.
Honestly, I'm not surprised, because as for the side for LCMY, what they want to do is really just wait for the perfect time to eventually just deal with the members that is at the lower side of Central, because they have the high ground, right? All they want to do and all they can do is just kind of scout around to see whether there's anyone just going to be rushing right to their current location, or perhaps just make a run for it. Now, that's not what I was expecting, though. I guess that their passive gameplay is really embedded inside, and they just do not want to go for any early game kills, which honestly is not my cup of tea. I would have preferred if they were to just try to engage a little bit, try to deal some damage, and perhaps pop a few hits or two. And if you think that you are in not that big of a, not in such a favorable position, then sure, you can build for it. But they just build without, testing the waters.
Yeah, and so as well, they had shotgun. So I think going for the shotgun aggressive play, like right from the start. And so I'm gonna agree with you, Abstract. Like playing passively in the early game is not my cup of tea. Because kill points is 2 points per kill. Why not get like 4 points or maybe even 6 points for yourselves, and eventually move on towards the center of the circle by rotating in? But we can see Hard to Get will be playing around Brasilia, and so as well AV Elite will be holding the high ground. Look at that. I just love how AV Elite is playing right now. They're going to be playing like what I just mentioned, the diverse hybrid kind of a gameplay. They're just mixing it up. You won't expect them to be aggressive, you won't expect them to be passive. They're going to be in between. So there is that balance, and Hard to Get is going to be holding the fort as well, not meeting any teams around that particular area. But circle, second circle is coming in soon. 1 minute left on to the countdown timer, and Abstract, I don't know what to say, because like as you said, teams are relatively passive today.
Very passive. Yeah. And the one reason that I would say that early game passive gameplay is not my cup of tea is due to the fact that the early game is pretty much designed for you to go all havoc, destroy anyone and everyone that you see. And the main reason I say that is because the map is still open, it is still huge, and the chances of you being vouchered and being third person after a full team wipeout is a lot lower than having a team fight in the third circle, because the circle is going to be so small by then. Whenever you have a fight, everyone else can hear you, and they can swoop in for the activity and just deal with whoever's is left over. While in the first circle, none of that is going to happen. If you see another team, it is very likely that they are going to be the only team that you have to deal with, and once you're done with them, you should be able to run away before anyone even comes back in to try to swoop you.
Yep, and just now we can see for a brief moment that AV Elite and Hard to Get is going to be moving towards the side of Brasilia, because Brasilia, because the circle has been shifted towards on the central circle. Oh, Raw! Minax is spraying down onto the vehicle, getting some damage, and the car is almost done for. Yeah, they get away with a slither of health from their vehicle, and Genesis All-Star is going to be shifting, rotating towards themselves, towards the middle side of the map as well, because they don't want to be left outside the circle. And the circle does hurt, ladies and gentlemen. The circle hurts a lot after the third phase, and they don't want to be in that specific situation. But Genesis All-Star is going to be taking fire from Hard to Get, and this is going to be a squad fight already.
Aggressive! Now that is not something I was expecting for facts. He's just gonna be immediately vaulting into the building and running out of the door like nothing has happened. In the meantime, we're just gonna be taking a look at Batman. He's just gonna be holding on to this and just gonna be running right in. Hopefully we'll be able to help the rest of his team coming in to Hard to Get to deal with everything else. In the meantime, Hard to Get Shira go straight down. We do have a lot of jumping action, and of course the slow wall is just gonna be popped right up and erected. But there's gonna be a little bit of a problem for him, because they are all just trapped inside and unable to do anything of the rest of Genesis All-Star. With 2 men left, they are gonna be completely swept down by Batman with a triple grenade.
That's
You
what
asked
I
for
want to
it.
see, ladies
You
and
get it.
gentlemen. Yep, we asked for it. We got it. Batman with the triple kill with the grenade, and that's some unfortunate circumstances that you shouldn't pop the glow wall in the closed room, ladies and gentlemen. And that's what I said. And Batman, I like you a lot right now. I totally like you a lot right now.
I
He
mean,
just
we can
swooped
pretty much
in and
understand why he's just running in, right? Running
Yeah,
into the
I
pit,
think
and he
he's-
says, "I gotta get in there fast. I really have to get in there fast. Fire in the hole!" And kaboom!
Yep, I think he made a small teaser for for some new Batman series where he's like, "Hey, I'm Batman. Here's my grenade. Here will be triple kill." Oh, that's a nice voice impression. I dig that.
Oh yeah. Well, in the meantime, we are also going to be looking at this size. We do have a couple of teams, or rather, a single man and 3 men. They're just going to be at right by the riverbed, and I'm not too sure, but LCMY, they're just going to get closer and closer to their opponents, and I'm not too sure about this, but as they have, he may have been done for, because it is 1 against all. How exactly is he supposed to deter this aggression? There's absolutely no way. He's all alone. And he's gonna pay.
Yep, one tap has been taken out by LCMY Bosku, and one tap's teammates is all across the side of the hill, and they're just gonna let it be. They know there is 4 members strong from the side of LCMY Bosku. There are a lot of ground to work with, and so as well they're in the building. So wasting ammo is not a good. Not a good thing to be recommended in this particular game, as well as battle royale genres go through. Ammo is one of the most conservative. You need to think about ammo for a start, because you can't waste it too much, because you have 6 circles to survive, and you have 9 teams left in 9 teams left in the play, and you can see 4 X-Men is gonna be hanging around right across another opposing team. I don't think Logan spots them out yet, but they're going to be making moves soon, because circle is going to be closing in as well. Second circle is going to be in play right around the corner, but LCM and Bosco manages to get themselves 1 kill, so that means 2 points for them. So they're going to be managing to get more kills, but they're going to be sitting down, they're going to be strategizing, they're going to be rethinking it, but SAF is on the high ground. So as well, hard to get is right across the street. He's going to be holding the high ground as well. So these 2 teams are particularly stuck right down below. They can't actually rotate without being seen by the members, so hard to get in SAF as well. This is not looking good, and the circle has shifted towards the west side of the map, and 4X-Men is actually right in the center, so as well as LCMI Bosco, but SAF has the best spot right now in the map, Abstract.
Yeah, I mean, this is kind of tough, right? Because right now, with quite a big amount of water bed that is inside of the circle, that means that the only available areas to play is pretty much cut down to maybe to 90%, for example, because of the creek that is running through in between of the new circle, right? So it's kind of tough to say which side is eventually going to be the better side, right? Because we do have one team that is going to be on the western side, right opposite of Marble Works, right? So if they are just going to be there the whole time, it's either going to end up like pan out really well for them, or it's just going to be an absolute disaster, because they have to swim over the creek and just try to deal something about it.
Yep. So as well, we can see hard to get Shira getting a kill onto DT, one of the members from DT. Why is this going to be knocked down? And Toby is nearby to save him, but hard to get is going to be attempting to push forward for this fight. They want the kill, they want the points, and they already got 4 kills for themselves. They're going to be getting the kills for themselves. While Toby is going to be Toby is going to be saving him, and Wise just gets away, starts to heal up, but hard to get is going to be moving forward for this push. Batman as well is going to be driving the vehicle up front and forward. He's going to be attempting to rush his opponents right across the street, but not just yet. He's going to be scouting forward. Yeah, they're just going to be scouting. You know, they just got the knock. They stopped their push all of a sudden, right?
I like what they're doing right now, especially from Batman, right? He just went out scouting them and just where they are. While in the meantime, SAF Judge brings 1 member down from LCMY. There is a slow wall just right in between of all of them, and they're just slowly passing away. And it does feel like things are working pretty well for SAF. Well, SAMY don't really have any more cover. Last take is not knocked out. LCMY, they only have 1 man left, at the top of the peak, right opposite of Marble Works. They have to go for placements now.
Yep, so as well as we mentioned, Abstract SAF is holding on to a very nice position for themselves, and LCMY Bosco is already pinned down from downhill. They had I think for now they have the best position, but I'm not gonna say anything yet because Circle hasn't been shifted just yet. But AXA Dream Team is gonna be having the fight still with hard to get. They're just gonna be holding on to the houses. They're not gonna be moving. They're not gonna be making any moves just yet, but AV Elite, they have to move towards AXA Dream Team. But AV Jaboli just lands a knockout onto the head by Wise, who beginning to spray down with the shotgun. Gets one knock. Red Panda is gonna be a healing out right behind the glow wall by Wise. He's gonna be making a play with the rifles, with the shotgun as well. Wise gonna be pushing up, double pump, triple pump. Not gonna be getting anyone else, but Wise is gonna be still chasing on to the members from AV Elite. This is going ham. Glow wall's being popped out. AV Elite, will they make it out? And AV Elite will just squad wipe the whole squad from AXA Dream Team, and they're wiped out. They're gone for the game, and AV Elite will secure their spots onto this specific circle, but the circle has shifted towards the side of hard to get to SAF, to AV Elite, and 4X-Men is a little bit of a trouble right there because that position wise they have to cross the bridge or they have to swim, and SAF is going to be holding the ground, and we can see one last remaining member of LCMI Bosco is going to be rotating all the way towards the north side, attempt to go from the circle towards the north side as well. This is not looking good for LCMI Bosco, but SAF is going to be having a fight onto the side of 4X-Men as well. They spotted them out, they fired some shots but not getting any kills. And I think Judge got taken out by one of the members from 4X-Men, but not sure. Bloody Head is going to be having a fight for themselves as well. This is going crazy, Abstract.
Wow, this is something that I definitely did not expect. AV Elite has completely dominated AXA and completely just wiped them out in that current positioning, right? AV Elite definitely is supposed to go down because of the gatekeeping factor that AXA is able to bring down onto the board. But ultimately, the usage of the slow wall just make things completely different. This just turned the tides of the battle just because of the glow wall.
Yep. Just with the glow wall and so as well the aggressive pace. I think the first knock as well, but right now we have 4X-Men against LCMY Gregory. But right now one of the members of Gregory gets knocked out and gets finished off by Bayet for 4X-Men Esports. They got 4 kills right now in the instance, but Bayet will be getting fired from the north side and pops the glow wall for instant cover and gonna be healing him up. Gonna be healing himself up for quite a bit, but right now Bloody Head is gonna be engaging a fight against Raw Squad. Raw Squad not doing that good, but they get a knock onto Bloody Head. Posh G is gonna get killed out.
Oh no!
And gets knocked down behind a tree. Just for a second, he can't make it to the cover, but Mark is gonna be pinned down, and this is going insane. All the teams are gonna be converging in. Raw Squad gets a kill onto one of the members from Bloody Head as well, and 4X-Men Manchai has been taken out. Bloody Head, one man left alive, pops the glow wall left and right, trying to run for cover, attempt to rotate away from the side of Raw Squad, and he is the only man left alive. He has to play for placement points if he wants to secure like a decent amount of points for their only group stage. And Abstract, this is going crazy.
Yeah, I honestly, right now in this current circle, most of the teams will definitely not want to run around too much because right now the circle is going to be pushed somewhere to the northwestern side, and it is going to be in favor of 4X-Men Esports. But they are under the bridge after all, and after all, they can't do anything else other than that. They need to wrap around and try to get themselves away from the bridge on the sides in order to get themselves into the circle. They have to head up north, but if they were to head up north, they will meet up with SAF, and if a fight ensues, then they have to expect some vouchering happening. Well, in the meantime, it does seem like Hard to Get is going to be looking at some good old team fights inside of the game, or rather inside of the building, or some breach tactics. That's Voidface that's going to be opening fire, trying to fill the opponents with lead, but none of them are filled with holes just yet. But they are really trying their very best to be camping outside of the building, while in the meantime, we are able to see a triple kill somewhere in the other side of the vicinity, but things are definitely gonna go disastrous from now on. As you can pretty much see, Gamza immediately peeks right out of the window and tries to fill the opponents with lead. well, we're gonna be looking at Logan getting tossed up with some couple of frag grenades. I don't think that he's gonna be staying alive for any time longer. For X-Men Esports, they are gonna find themselves in a bad position.
Yup, 4X Logan. Ooh, actually gets the
Oh,
knock
not?
with the support of Maya, but Logan gets knocked down instantly by McCurry.
Oh.
And this is going ham. SAF gets the kill onto Logan as well, so 4X Man is going to be wiped out. Hard to Get is still being the team that is named for. They're still getting hard. The teams are hard, like, they just can't kill them, and Bloody Head just got wiped out from the field. SAF eliminated. Voidface dropping very low, but he jumps down with MP40. Ganza gets a kill onto one of the members for the opposing team. SAF will be wiped out as well right now. This is 3 teams left, 8 alive. Circle is pushing into the open area. Glows being popped, and right now Roscoe has the advantage, and they'll be getting the booyah. They'll be getting the booyah with that specific area. Oh my god! Abstract!
Wait, what?
Oh my god!
It wasn't AV Elite.
It wasn't AV Elite.
I thought it would have been AV Elite. Whoa. They got wiped out in the last second then.
I think we saw AV Elite fighting on with I think it was one of the squads from Hard to Get. And I think Raw Squad was right around the corner when those 2 teams were fighting. They're just there to like land some free shots and land some free kills for themselves because they had the positions. I see 2 from the left and one in the middle of the circle and one from the right. So technically, Raw Squad pinched those 2 teams together while they're fighting with the glow walls, with the grenades, with the shotguns, with the MP40s. Oh my god, Raw Squad just got themselves a booyah. Congratulations. They got around to the booyah.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, ultimately, the last circle was right smack in the open in the plains, right? So there really isn't anything else that you can do other than, well, erect up a glow wall. And there was just so many things that's going on about. There are some trees as cover, but it's not as good as a glow wall. So all you got to do is just erect them up. But ultimately, I believe that whatever happened right there was a complete disaster that was hell unleashed on Earth. And we didn't quite see much, but for what I know and for what I remember seeing is that AV Elites got knocked out in number 2, while Raw Squad got themselves the booyah.
Yeah, and so as well, I think Hard to Get was the team that we were all looking at to get the booyah for this particular round because they had the circle advantage, they had the man advantage as well, but we forgot about Raw Squad in the fact that I mean Raw Squad got the kills onto Bloody Head and eventually they moved themselves all the way around towards I think they shifted themselves towards the middle side of the circle, but I'm not sure where they rotated to, like in terms of like they got that perfect position onto those 2 teams, like for Hard to Get when they were fighting in the middle of a fight, but they got the kills instead. Even with the glow walls popped up, they can't do anything much because Circle was closing on them. I think it was the 5th or 6th circle that closed in on them, and that circle is gonna hurt a lot. I don't think any members from AV Hard to Get would be able to heal themselves for it, and AV Elite as well is getting pinched down by Hard to Get. There was too much stuff happening. Abstract. There's too much stuff.
Indeed, but what matters is that Raw Squad get themselves that booyah. And of course, we will be taking a look at the leaderboards in a while later once everything is tabulated. And of course, we will have graphics going on for you guys just for the visual aspect. But in the meantime, that is the end of today's A versus B matchup. And we should be looking at 2 more matchup, which is B versus C, as well as A versus C, which will come in a while later. B versus C will come first, which, well, we're gonna have to hold that for a little while because we should be jumping right in for a short break and a short advertisement break for now. So, ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Una mattina mi sono alzato, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Una mattina mi sono alzato e ho trovato l'invaso, oh partigiano, portami via.
กันและรัก
Una mattina mi sono alzato, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Una mattina mi sono alzato e ho trovato l'invaso. Oh partigiano, portami via, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Partigiano, portami via, che mi sento di morire. E se io muoio da partigiano, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. E se io muoio da partigiano, tu mi devi seppellire.
You thought you knew my story. This world is unjust and cruel. I won't know more of it. That's why you're here. They say you like to pry, but I only see curiosity. People call you reckless. I see you of no fear, where others see your arrogance. I only see grit. They call you sly and hasty, but you bring the quick wit. Why are you here? For a bank, biggest of all. We're taking back what's been stolen, and it will be the greatest heist you ever joined. Get ready for Plan Bermuda.
E seppellire lassù in montagna. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao. Garena.
Una mattina mi sono alzato, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Una mattina mi sono alzato e ho trovato l'invaso.
Welcome back to the Free Fire Tri-Nation Cup, ladies and gentlemen. We just finished up our matches for Group A and B. And I know Abstract and Shadow Banjo, you guys were looking forward to seeing a lot of action today. But the second map wasn't what you were expecting. It was very quiet for the first half of the match. But of course, action did pick up a little bit later on. We do have the results to show. So let's take a look at the match results for Game 1 and 2 to see who got the most points out of all of the games that we saw for today. This is the results for match 1 in Group A versus B. This was on Bermuda, and Hard to Get were the ones to actually get the most points in this series. AV Elite, although they scored the Booyah, they only got 14 kill points, whereas Hard to Get, they got second place, but if you've got 22 kill points, I think they're going to be very happy with themselves for those placement points.
11 kills in total? That is rather insane if you ask me. I mean, Team Hard to Get definitely knew what they wanted. They knew that, Booyah is not that big of a deal because the only difference from second place to first place is just a meager, 3 points, right? So that is equivalent or rather lesser than total of 2 kills. So if they go, aggressive in the early stages of the game, then they pretty much have got the game in the bag and just focus on the kills. They shouldn't have to care too much about getting their placements in first. Just kill anyone that is below third, at third and fourth, this kind of stuff in the smaller circle.
Yep, have to agree with
Absolutely.
Abstract. And sorry, Dudley, continue on.
I have nothing to say. Keep going.
Okay, so I have to agree with Abstract because Hard to Get and AV Elite is surprisingly playing real close with each other, and so as well, they've been playing with the same style as me and Abstract predicted because they were mixing it up. They were were passive aggressive. They were utilizing the grenades a lot. I think we saw like Batman get like a triple kill instantly with a perfect nade onto a global with some unfortunate circumstances into a compound. And yes, yeah, just excited to see what Game 3 has to offer.
We do need to take a look
Yeah,
at the
believe
bottom
it.
of the brackets as well, because this is just the top 6. We do need to see who else played in this matchup. And this one's a little bit of a surprise because 4X-Men placed 7th in their first game, which a lot of people would be very shocked about.
They got knocked out pretty early into match number 1. I think that they got knocked out together almost at the same time as AXA Dream Team from some other team. I can't exactly remember which team was the one that kind of went in and swooped in for the kill. But ultimately, for X-Men Esports, I believe that they were just in the wrong place at the wrong time, which ultimately got them into 7th place. They couldn't even get a single kill for themselves. So their positioning may have been the biggest factor for their current point, but I wouldn't be surprised if they were to come back a little bit stronger in match number 2, match number 3, and so on and so forth.
All right, let's move on over to our second series of the day with Raw Squad managing to get the booyah for our second series. Hard to get though, yet again. Yes, they may have come second, but remember, they are the ones to manage to get all of the kill points. They got 10 kills in that last matchup. Raw Squad, they only got 10. Look at the distribution. Like, Hard to Get basically has the same kills as 2 squads combined. They are on fire today.
I mean, we're starting to see a pattern, aren't we? Hard to Get. They do have their eyes on the prize, except their eyes, their definition of prize is a little bit different. It's not booyahs, but it comes in the form of blood and, well, everything else. They just want to go out for the kills, and they don't care. They don't quite care so much about the aggression in the smaller circle, because normally what happens is that once the circle becomes extremely small, and there is, for example, 3 teams remaining, if a team is looking forward to get the booyah, then whichever team wants to go for the booyah, they're going to play defensively because they don't want to be vouchered. They do not want to be hit by an unexpected force, which comes in the form of third partying from the other team. So Hard to Get does not have that in their eyes. They don't care about being third partied. They just want to get a full team wipe against the third placing team, which in this case very likely is AV Elite. Yeah. So AV Elite is the third placement. Hard to Get very likely got all kills onto AV Elite, or rather probably half of it. And they don't really care if Raw Squad comes in and swoop in for the kill, because ultimately the kills is what matters.
Any final words before we head on over to our next series of the day, gentlemen?
Shadow?
Have to say, for X-Men in these 2 games, they're kind of unlucky, I have to say, because they always went for the center zone of the circles, but fortunately Circle didn't move into the favor. Circles were shifted away from them, which they had the perfect spot. But I have to say, Hard to Get is like living up to the team name, because they are hard to get and they are hard to kill. Most of the teams are trying to engage on them, but it seems like they have something going on today in specifically, because they are seriously hard to kill in a certain extent, because I saw teams pushing up towards them as much as they can, but in the end they played out the passive game, they waited out, they scout properly. And I like the vehicle usage from Hard to Get as well, as I see some rotations being pulled out. And so as well, they use I think they use one of the members on their team to actually like specifically just use a vehicle, scout out the area. If they scout out people, they're just moving forward to get the kills as much as they can. So Abstract, I don't know anything else, but I'm excited to see match 3 Abstract. What do you have to say?
I mean, in regards to that situation, I believe that it was Batman that actually got himself into the vehicle, and we didn't quite see the end of that action, but ultimately we know what happened, right? How to get swoop up the entire team of that, and the main reason that that happened because they for Batman's rotation and him bumping up to the other side of the building pretty much closed up the escape path of the victims. So they are pretty much being pincered from two directions and they don't really have anywhere else to go, which would explain them getting so much kills. Because from our eyes, we managed to see one team wipe with some good grenades from Batman's side and a little glimpse of what have happened before they got themselves like a huge amount of kills, which I would believe and I would like to say that they possibly get managed to get themselves like 2 full team wipes in a short span of time.
All right, folks, so that's going to be the end of our first series of the day. That was Group A versus B. We do need to move on to B versus C. And I know a lot of people are looking forward to this one as well because a lot of people have started to develop a feeling for some of these Group C teams, Baby Argon and No Escape being some very big contenders of the tournament. 4X-Men being a little bit slow, but of course they're going to have a small break. We will see them in the matchup after this. But gentlemen, going into Group B versus C, if you're Group B, you're going to be warmed up coming into this next series. Do you think AV Elite have a really good chance of actually managing to get some booyahs off of a team such as Baby Argon and No Escape today?
Well, for AV Elites, right? They have been pretty okay. I would like to say they have been getting themselves in the first half of that leaderboards, and I wouldn't be surprised if they were to continue to keep up with whatever that they're doing. But in this new set of players, this new set of teams, things may turn out to be extremely different because of No Escape.
Shadow Banjo, before you say anything, I'm going to let you take over because, of course, the match is beginning. So Shadow Banjo and Abstract, take it away for Group B versus C.
And thank you, Dan Lee, for the wonderful hosting panel. And right now, we're going to be jumping into Bermuda again for our third match of the series. This is going to be Group B versus C, and AV Elite is looking strong, but they have a strong contender right now in this series. They have No Escape to be heading towards to end, so as well Baby Argon, two of these titans in Group C. We're going to see how things play off, Abstract. It seems Raw Squad has already warmed up themselves for this particular series as well, but have to say, is this going to be a frag heavy series, or is it going to be the same repetitive, passive aggressive kind of motion going on like onto the games before, Abstract?
I would like to believe that the game would go aggressive, but looking at how scattered all these teams are, I would say that most of these teams will probably want to keep to themselves and not want to deal with anything. As you can pretty much see, everyone else in this team have got their own respective places. The flight path started off in the northern side. In the southern side and went towards the northwestern side. So kind of cut through a good amount of places such as Factory, Clock Tower, Bimasakti Strip, Katulistua. So you can expect that most of the teams are a little bit flushed towards the western side, as you can pretty much imagine. One of the team actually ran all the way, or rather parachuted all the way into Sentosa and just tried to make themselves feel at home and have all the time that they want to loot whatsoever. So I would not be surprised if we were to see no actions whatsoever until the third circle.
Yep, as we can see, Team Eclipse will be right around Observatory, but right now Team Gregory is gonna be really, really close to a dream team, and they're not gonna be attempting any push just yet. But on a specific spot like Mill, they have to, like, the team right down on below has to be careful, because I think Yan has spotted 2 members out already. He's going to be hiding right around the car and waiting for any opponents from the opposing force to be pushing about. But Yan is going to make a move and fall back eventually and note his team that there is members in Mill. They're not going to be going the aggressive push, but first blood going on to Team LGD, and this is getting spicy because Taken has it has taken out one of the members from Raw Squad, and Minex is the first one to fall in this series, in this first game of the series, or first map. Excuse me. Right now, Riverside is gonna be utilized by LCMI Gregory, and they're just gonna hold their ground, scout out more. But yes, Abstract, I'm gonna say no aggressive plays is not our cup of tea right now, and no Legend Rumble is gonna be firing on to some shots. I believe it was Raw Squad right across the street, and not gonna getting any hits and not any kills just yet. But yeah, Abstract, what do you think right now from this pace of the game?
I mean, I'm not surprised actually, but because all of these teams already have like a place of their own. They have a place that they want to stay in. They have a place to loot up. But usually by this second circle, most of the players would definitely want to move out, like because they have to catch up to the circle. And depending on where the circle is gonna be, then we can calculate and of course expect and estimate where the choke zones eventually will be, and then expect the fights to happen there. But ultimately, we still don't have most of those information just about yet. But I would like to believe that most of the fight should happen in the northwestern side, because a lot of teams is going to be flooding at that area, northwestern side of Bermuda. So, okay, so we have the map right now, right? So the current circle is leaning towards the southeastern side. So a lot of these teams would then flow in from the northwestern side, making Bima Sakti Strip, as well as the northwestern side of Peak, to become a heavily contested area. A lot of players would want to head their way through Bima Sakti Strip. So Bima Sakti Strip is the place that would probably see a casualty of maybe 2 teams.
Most definitely, and LCMI Gregory might have a contest of areas, or maybe even, I think, hard to get would be gatekeeping the members from LCMY Gregory, because I think hard to get noticed that they have to run soon, and they notice that one of the team members is gonna be one of opposing team is gonna be behind them, but no escape. Show you is being knocked down, but quickly gets up and gets the kill done, pops a glow wall in just for safety, and no escape. The heavy fraggers that they're considered to be is going to be landing on some shots, but not getting any kills. They're particularly playing passively. I mean, that's expected because it's still the second phase of the circle, but AKD is going to be moving forward for the push, but not going to be pushing towards fully just yet. They still have plenty of ground to work with. Circle is going to be pushing forward again. So auto knockout has to find a way to maneuver around and eventually get a pick onto No Escape, or No Escape is just gonna pick you up, because from the way I see it, No Escape is just gonna maneuver around the areas, trying to get some compounds for themselves to work out, or maybe some cover to actually get some potential picks. Right now, Circle has been shifted again. Circle is closing down. Is gonna be right down towards side. We can see a lot of teams is gonna be on Pachinok, is gonna be on right around Peak, some right on the edge of Clock Tower, and I think Factory. Most of the players be moved out because of the UAV being deployed, but Bloody Head is not in the place that they want to, because they just popped out right on top of their heads.
My god, that is unfortunate, I would say. But ultimately, I guess that Bloody Head has got the right mentality, right? Because right in the island of Sentosa, you can't stay there for too long because of the circle. It's already counted to be quite lucky for the fact that they are still even inside of the circle, so they can take their own sweet time to slowly flow into Pochinok. But well, they still have to be really careful as to what's going on inside of Pochinok. Gotta have to keep their eyes open. Gotta have to keep their ears hearing, and make sure that no one is, gatekeeping inside of Sentosa, which I don't think most of the players would actually do that. But for Team Legend Rumble, it does seem like they are right at the coast of the bridge. So expect some good old team fights right at the edge of the bridge.
Oh my, Abstract. You can see Auto Knockout, Legend Rumble, and Raw Squad is just right around the corner. And we can see Baby Argon is actually on top. And if one of these three teams starts to fire off a single bullet, this is not going to end well because Baby Argon has the high ground. They have the eagle eyes, but right now, no escape. Shoyu is going to be shot down as well. He is not having a good day because he's always the one getting the hits, but Hazik will get onto a knock, but Shoyu eventually will get finished by one of the members. Oh, but no escape. This is going to be contested by Legend Rumble. And right now, Bloody Head is going to be attempting a knockout onto No Escape as well. They're going to be No Escape is pinched down by two teams. This is not looking good for No Escape. And also, Aki is still on full HP, but on his members is just knocked down behind the tree. But right now, Bloody Head is going to be peeking forward, but Legend Rumble will be knocking one of the members down. Blink will be taken out by Rain with that third-party knockout. Gets a kill for himself, but right now, No Escape is attempting for a run, attempting for their escape. Glow balls being popped out. They're just running back, retreating for their lives. They don't want to risk it no more. Although they want the kills, they want to try to fight, but they don't want to risk it because this is still early. 12 teams still left alive. No teams has been eliminated yet. This is only the first circle, ladies and gentlemen. Second circle coming in soon, but Legend Rumble has gotten themselves 3 kills already. Legend Rumble baby has been showing off quite a bit. Because with that long range shots, he's been landing consistently, and so as well, really aggressive coming out from Legend Rumble as well on this particular game. They switched up their playstyles quite a lot.
Yeah, I mean, Legend Rumble's positioning is probably by far the best position that you can expect in the southeastern side. And as for No Escape, I would suppose that they are rather unfortunate to have someone camping by the bridge, or rather, being at the bridge. Because if there are anyone that is gonna be at the bridge, is going to be Bloody Heads, and Bloody Heads is going as compared to No Escape versus Bloody Head. In most situations, I would say that Bloody Heads have the worst positioning because they are just right by the bridge, and all the bridge campers have got to do is wait there. Just wait and gatekeep the entirety of the bridge, and there is absolutely no way the Bloody Head is able to go anywhere. But in comes in a new equation, and that comes in the form of No Escape. No Escape has made themselves a lot more apparent to the eyes of Bloody Heads, and well, it is they don't have a lot of covers. The only kind of covers that they have is trees, and their positioning right by that fields ultimately is not a good place to be in the end. But well, if you ask me, it is still a pretty good place to tackle against Legend Rumble, but not a good one against the Bloody Heads. So kind of like a rock, paper, scissors kind of equation.
Yeah, I have to agree with you on that, but Circle is going to be converging almost towards the middle. A lot of teams have made their appearance into the middle side of the zone, and we can see Baby Argon getting into fights with a lot of teams, but oh my, the Elite is right around the corner. Hard to get is going to be moving in as well. This is going to be chaotic. 12 teams still left alive, but right now, oh, Gregory is going to be shot. He's going to be shot down quite a bit, and he manages to escape for his life because No Escape has been holding the high ground and shooting him off, but Baby Argon Jabat, one of the top fraggers for week 1, held on to 2 days consistently. He is going to be holding on to that long range weapon of himself, and this is not going good. And Danger Zone has been popped up right on top of Baby Argon as well. This is like right around the corner, so teams have to be careful because the circle is going to be shifting again. So third circle coming soon, and 12 teams still left alive. These teams are not making a move yet. And this is the Free Fire I want to see, because after third circle is closed in, action will happen, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, Bloody Head is taking a stand right below the bridge. They don't want any beef against Legend Rumble because Legend Rumble has been on top. But right now, we can see off screen that No Escape. I think they lost one member already as well. So it's one member remaining from No Escape. Yeah. This is not looking good for Team No Escape for their first series, but they have another map to work with, which is Purgatory on the next map. But no worries. But we would never know that No Escape would actually make a comeback story. You know, a Cinderella story, because a one man can still booyah the whole entire game, still can get frags that he wants, but not looking that good right now in this circumstances, because still, as I'm going to mention it again, 12 teams still left alive. No team has been eliminated. Abstract.
Yeah, most of the teams is going to have either one man remaining, which is for No Escape, and players with only 3 members remaining, such as Bloody Heads. We don't really know a lot of the other teams in this game, but I would suppose that they should be pretty much a-okay because of the fact that they haven't really got themselves into any kinds of intense fight just yet. And now the circle has popped in favor of quite a good amount of players actually. For Baby Argons, they're pretty much a-okay. For AKO, they're okay as well. And not to forget, we also have Legend Rumble that is still playing right around the watchtower that is outside of the bridge. They should be hanging around there for the next few minutes, and I won't expect that they will be eliminated anytime yet. But for now, it does seem like Baby Argon's Jabat has been knocked down.
Yeah, and right now we can see No Escape. Rain is gonna be testing a fight onto Bloody Heads, but Rain gets instantly knocked down by Paji with the SKS. This is not going good. Globals being popped, being destroyed. They're gonna crouch. They're gonna head for the cover onto below the hill. Will they get the kill onto Paji? Paji will get knocked down. Rain will get re-knocked down instantly. And right now, Globals being popped by Bloody Heads, and Akik will be attempting for a res. Grenades being popped out. Will get knocked in. Oh my god, it's going intense. Bloody Head will get the knock onto Nox Rain again. Right now, jumping up and down. Globals being popped. Can he get the kill? But Akik with everybody melts down one of the members from Bloody Heads. Bloody Heads will be attempting to push on
One more.
Akik, last man remaining. Glowwall still protecting the side of Bloody Heads, and this is not going good. 3 versus 1 situation. Akik will be patching this out, but he's getting shot right around the edge of the Glowwall with a small angle. And No Escape is the first team to actually be eliminated in the series, and Raw Squad is attempting to eliminate Baby Argon. As we can see, Jabat and Phoenix only left alive, and Raw Squad as well has 2 members alive. They got themselves 1 kill onto Baby Argon. Baby Argon has been staying strong in this particular game, but the circle is still in their favor. They don't need to move, but no! Circle has shifted away and is not going to be on their favor. Auto knockout is going to have the circle advantage instead, and these teams have to move right now because they have only 40 seconds to work with. They have to move right now, real quick, real fast. Right now, this is not looking good for Raw Squad and all the teams outside the circle because 35 seconds left onto the clock. 3 teams are right now in the circle. Special Army is still stuck on that particular phase, but Legend Rumble will be taking shots onto Bloody Head, and Bloody Head will be stuck outside being gatekept by Taken. So this is not looking good, Abstract, for Team Bloody Head.
Shut down.
Well, in the meantime, AV Elite has been eliminated at 11th place. Now, we are looking at teams that have been knocked down very unlikely timing, and that comes in the form of No Escape as well as AV Elite. But how about How to Get? They have been doing really well in match number 1 as well as match number 2. But here comes match number 3. This is going to be a newer platform because of the presence of new other teams that is not A and B, because now it's B and C. Things are starting to present in various different ways. What is going on? We are starting to see one of the top few teams getting eliminated right off the bat.
Yup, and oh my god, Team Legend Rumble just got dropped instantly, but right now Dr. DT, Wise, Toby, everyone's kills going around in. Raw Squad is out, ladies and gentlemen. On to the 9th place. 8 teams left alive, and Circle is closing in. This is not the place they wanted to be. Team Eclipse firing onto the shots, but Glowwall keeps the opposing to protect. The SA will be dropping out, and Special Army MY will be eliminated by Team Eclipse, and they'll be get Team 7th, and Bloody Head will be eliminated as well. They'll be Team 7. I think Special Army was Team 8, and right now new kill leader will be XA Dream Team, and right now Team Eclipse is starting to have a little bit of a situation right here because right now they're being pinched out by 3 teams, and I don't think these 3 teams notice that they're right around each other. But Auto Knockout has 2 kills for themselves, so has been spotting out. Team Eclipse will be getting some arm shots getting going down, but Team Eclipse Skyzo will be using the LMG to shoot down those globals and attempt to kill onto the opposing team, onto the roof. Special Army MY is gonna be really, really dangerous right there. This is a replay that just went out, so Special Army MY has been taken out, and This is going back and forth. 5 teams left into this small circle. This is the 6th circle, ladies and gentlemen. Auto Knockout still has the compounds to work with, but they have to move on to the open ground. Team Eclipse, Anga is stuck outside the circle. He's been healing himself up quite a bit, but Abella will be behind Team Auto Knockout. He'll get the shotgun kill onto the flank, but pops the global too late, but he'll still get the knockout onto one of the members of Team Auto Knockout. Right now, global being popped, trying to save himself. 170 HP left, 180, still regenerating back, but he gets the kill instead. Abella, 1 man left alive, 4 kills left. Auto Knockout will be swarming me in. Does he have a chance to fight this out? There's 40 HP left, global being popped left and right. This is going insane. This is nuisance. The Auto Knockout shooter will get the kill instead. This is going back and forth. Number 3 teams left onto the circle. Quadra kill coming out from Team Auto Knockout. Right now, the 6th circle already closing in. Right now, this is the 7th circle. Ladies and gentlemen, Auto Knockout has the advantage right over this instant. But MP40 getting knocked on one of the members from Team Gregory. But Miro will get knocked down as well. But Gregory still has the man advantage 4v3. This is not going on. These 2 teams not going head to head. Circles closing in. Globals being popped. They have no way to work for Globals. Circles closing in. They have nowhere to go. Auto Knockout will eventually win the game because they're dropping very low. Gregory 1 man left. And there you go. Booyah is gonna go over to Auto Knockout.
That last moment is it is very intense, without a doubt. It is very, very intense. The circle is slowly shrinking in. Auto Knockout still held where they were and just immediately go for a full team wipe and try to do whatever that they can. But in that small little vicinity, with only a single building as their cover, they managed to hold themselves out and, of course, take out the last team remaining.
Yeah,
Wow.
that was insane. And so as well, that was the first. I think this is the first series that we went to a 7th circle. It was all closing in. It's all up to 1. It was a 2v2 situation between Auto Knockout and so as well LCMY Gregory. But Auto Knockout eventually had the slight advantage of the circle moving in towards their position. And LCMY Gregory was really unfortunate because that was the 7th circle. It's going to hurt really, really bad. No meds can save you. Nothing can save you from that circle. And so as well, I think we can see Eclipse making some plays about Abella just rushing in with that shotgun and getting a backstab onto one of the members on Team Auto Knockout. That was really well played. But unfortunately, we don't get to see Team No Escape is performing their best at this first map because I don't think this is their best map. I'm not gonna make any assumptions. Don't quote me, but from the way I see it, they got really unlucky as well with the circle placements. But Baby Argon almost got themselves the momentum that they wanted. But things it is what it is. Like it just didn't end well for them.
Yeah, I mean, well, this game is probably a major surprise to many other viewers out there, us casters included, because No Escape being knocked out in 12th place. We've got AV Elites that got knocked out in 11th place, and then another curveball is thrown at us where Hard to Get is knocked out in 10th place. These 3 teams are pretty much the teams that we are looking at who have the highest potential in winning this entire series because of the fact that they are really good in positioning, and I would suppose that they do have a little bit of bias in their maps, and they are really good in specific maps. And who I'm talking about is No Escape, because they managed to score 3 wins out of that 6 maps in Kalahari last week, and that is a 50% win rate. 50% win rate for a single map. And that is absolutely insane. While Hard to Get, they are really good in the aggressive plays. They go for kills and all that kind of stuff. But this time, they got trumped over by another team, which is something that definitely was definitely a big eye-opener to me. And I think it was Baby Argon that has wiped them out. I'm not too sure.
Yep, like I think it was not Baby Argon. I think it was what's the team's name? I think it was Team Eclipse or maybe even Raw Squad who got the kills. I mean, just as you said, Abstract, like No Escape, No Escape, Hard to Get, and AV Elite. These 3 teams were the highly anticipated teams to actually get a booyah or getting top 3 placements in this particular series. But the big curveball has been thrown at us. We do not expect team auto knockout to instantly pop off out of nowhere. They just went full ham. They had the position, they had the circle. I think the circle is with them most of the time, and I don't think the circle moved that much, except that I think there was a slight shift that made auto knockout rotate a little bit towards the northwest side, but eventually the circle still stayed with auto knockout till the end. And Eclipse is unlucky still. But right now, we'll be jumping into our second map of the series. Is gonna be Purgatory, ladies and gentlemen. And we can see on the screen, No Escape is gonna be on our screen. Moving on to Central, and oh my God, there'll be 4 teams converging around Central already, and this is gonna be spicy. But look at Lumber Mill.
Wow! What did I say?
Lumbermill.
The southern region of Purgatory is always the most contested region. Now let us talk a little bit more about that flight path first, alright? So the flight path is just going to be starting off in the southern side and cutting right through to the northern side, maybe just a small deviation over to the eastern side. So we are expecting that the flight path allows the players to gain access over to Brasilia, Central, Fire Brigade, Lumber Mill, Campsite, Forge, Ski Lodge, Fields, as well as the Moat House. But as you probably saw in the in the map just now, there is a lot of teams in Central, Fire Brigade, and Lumber Mill.
Yep, Hard to Get is gonna be playing on to the northern. I think Hard to Get is on the northwest or northeast side, if I'm not mistaken. I think they're a little bit close to the northeast side, and they're gonna be covering a lot of grounds. They'll be getting a lot of loot for themselves, and this is the first circle. Everything's gonna get passive, but no team's gonna be engaging each other just yet. But Hard to Get has a lot of work to do, because Legend Rumble is just right across the street, and Auto Knockout is so as well right around the corner. It's like 50 meters away. They're gonna be meeting each other like real quick, real soon. But No Escape, I think they have an engagement going right around that particular area, and Hazik, he's going to be staying close by onto Ray, attempting for a push, but Akik will be going on for a scout mission. And this is going passively so far, as we expected into the early games. Abstract, as we seen so far for the past 3 games.
Mm-hmm. Especially in Purgatory, right? Most of the teams would want to suit themselves up and try to get themselves fully equipped and do whatever that they can in the early stages of the game to get decent amount of equipment. But like I said before, the early game is pretty much designed for you to go all out aggressive. But I wouldn't be surprised to see some action going on about, and it does seem like we are able to see quite that. As we do have Jay just gonna be firing out all of the lads right onto Minex, while we also have a single drive-by with a vehicle, and I believe that what they were hoping for is a single knockout with the vehicle. And it does seem like there is a little bit of momentum slowdown coming in from the vehicle, as well as the vehicle going up in flames. He needs to get himself away as soon as possible. Mark has to abandon his vehicle before it even explodes inside with him inside. It doesn't seem like he was
wow,
Mark. That's
my God,
not a good thing.
Yep, that was a risky move by Mark, but that's not a good trade, because Boo is still left knocked down, but I don't think Minex could save him. But Bloody Heads, gets a 1-for-1 trade between Raw Squad. But Raw Squad is going to be pushing on to ZJ. ZJ not looking very good, but Shotgun gets popped out. He will get the knock on to Yanni. Right now, ZJ with the VSS trying to shoot down Minex, and Minex will get dropped down as well. It's all left to 1 member left from the Raw Squad, and the Glow Wall won't be saving him that much. 1 remaining member from Team Raw Squad is gonna be contesting on to Blink, and they're having a passive fight. I think Zeusin will be falling off, but I think he might attempt for a backstab, but I don't think that's recommended, Abstract, because he's 1 man left. His team has only 1 kill, so that means it's only 2 points for him. It's not gonna go good if he attempts to fight back.
Yeah. Indeed. Well, in the meantime, from the other side of the map, it does seem like No Escape have successfully redeemed themselves by getting a single team wipe onto AXA Dream Team. So we do not have much idea as to what has happened by No Escape's side, but one thing is for sure is that they are definitely going to put their game face on to deal with all kinds of adversaries in front of them. But back to whatever that we have right in front of us. We are looking at LCMY Gregory. They're just going to be heading themselves right on the campsite, right close to the center. And of course, with the circle popped, it's going to cover a huge amount of the map right smack in the center. And looking at the fact that quite a lot of water beds is going to be involved in this circle as well, the available play region is roughly about 15%, or perhaps even 20% of it all is being eliminated because of the waters. I'm pretty sure, and I hope that Team Auto Knockout does not get wiped out because of the bridge. Because LGD for Legend Rumbles, they are still pretty close to the bridge, exactly how they played in the previous run.
Ooh, but as now on the screen, we can see Baby Argon might have a small confrontation between AV Elites, and AV Elites is right now cornering them onto those compounds, and they can't. I think Baby Argon just can't rotate just yet. Instead, they have to make a move to pick out one of the members for Team AV Elites. As we can see, JCKR has eyesight on them, but Jabat has eyesight on JCKR as well. They are gonna be attempting for those long shots, eventually getting a pick, eventually push forward for their rotations. But Legend Rumble will be having a confrontation against Auto Knockout as well. One of the members of Auto Knockout will be going down under the bridge, and they're rotating away. They're just gonna walk away. They're not gonna fight Legend Rumble onto the top side of the hill. This is just not their advantage. But Legend Rumble technically has the control of Brasilia, but as we can see back right now on the screen, we get Baby Argon and AV Elites going head to head with each other, and nobody's making a move just yet. But Red Panda has been moving closely and closely, but he's going to be falling back to his team. Not going to make any sudden movement just yet because it's still early, ladies and gentlemen. So, second circle, this is just the second circle, so teams are not going to be that aggressive. But as far as I see, No Escape is the only team that got a perfect squad wipe, and now 11 teams remain onto the map. But hard to get. Might able to spot out members from Auto Knockout, and this is not going to look good for Auto Knockout if they don't notice Batman is right around that watchtower.
Things are starting to get a little bit more spicy as we do have Auto Knockout coming in closer and closer over to the faces of Hard to Get. They probably don't know who is right in front of them, and of course, what is going to be the adversary that is going to be posed right in front of them. But I would really want to see some fight going on about. And speaking of fights, we do have some lead that is being thrown from places to places around the air. And we do have Baby Argon that's just going to be engaging right against AV Elites. And I don't know about this, but the amount of covers that Baby Argon has is going to be very little, as that team is just going to be filling in the opponents with lead and fill them up with holes, with one member coming from AV Elites completely knocked out already. But here comes the rest of the members coming from our team Baby Argon, completely wiping them out from the surface of this earth, as a Jim brings him with 2 kills to his name, Cobra with 1, and Jabad with 1.
Well, I think we can see a particular pattern coming out, Abstract, because right just now, No Escape was the first thing to get wiped out. I think Baby Argon was the second. No, it was kind of the middle. No Escape made
AV Elite was the second to wipe out.
Yeah, and AV Elites is still the second one to get wiped out in this series, in this fourth game, and they're not looking that good. But Baby Argon has got the momentum up. They had the confidence back for the team fight. So right now, Auto Knockout will be engaging onto a fight close by, and they're not beginning to start the movement just yet. But some of the members already are the scout. I think Zen will be the scout that's going to be moving forward, attempt to gather as much information as they can. But LCMY Gregory is going to be holding down onto the compound with their life. They're not going to move. They're not going to be making any sort of movements. But hard to get. Boyface will get the kill onto one of the members from Bloody Head. ZJ dropping very, very, very low from the LMG spray, and this is not looking good for Bloody Heads as well. Hard to get is going to be pushing forward. Shira landing onto some shots onto one of the members from Bloody Head, but not getting the kill. But they got 2 kills up for their team. And they're gonna be moving forward for their rotations. They're gonna be chasing down Team Bloody Heads. Look at the aggression from Hard to Get.
The tenacity and the resilience that they really wanted all that kill, or rather that 4 points. But it doesn't seem like they will be closing up the gaps between them as well as Bloody Heads anytime soon, because the amount of movements and amount of cover that, or rather the amount of real estate that Bloody Heads has covered is a little bit too much. And I think Batman should have seen a small little pixel running about, and indeed he did. Indeed he did. Batman brings 2 kills to his name right now, giving, well, Bloody Heads a total of no kills, and they only have 1 man to get themselves the placements. I don't think that they're gonna let him off the score just yet. They definitely want to go on the hunt.
Yep, so as what we can see right now off the screen, I think one of the members of Raw Squad is way away from the zone, and I think No Escape is gonna be gauging onto Baby Argon just here, but Hard to Get is gonna be chasing onto the last remaining member of Bloody Heads, and Voidface don't know where is the member hiding. He's just right behind him in the tent, and this is just this is the safest possible spot for Pogs, because he's just staying there. He's not going to be making any moves, and I think he knows that the members from Hard to Get is around him, but he's going to be staying silent. He's going to be staying diligent, but Voidface going into the tent, not noticing him. He just he saw him again. He's going to be running that Pogs. He's going to be running for his life. This is going for a 3 versus 1 situation. Can Pogs get the kill? But no, Ganza will get the kill onto him, but Grenade gets lobbed out, will be missing, not taking anybody with him, and he's gonna get looted by the members from Hard to Get. I thought for a second Hard to Get missed him in that particular spot, but Regent Rumble is gonna be fighting against auto knockout between compounds to compounds right around 50 meters. He's gonna be throwing out smokes, I believe.
Well, I thought, our Bloody Head could have stayed in there, because it's either gonna turn out to be really, really good or extremely bad. Extremely bad meaning someone walks in. But it does seem like they have covered every single corner and ensured that they are able to find the last straggler in Team Bloody Heads. They managed to, which was a great feat for themselves, but ultimately they can't go around like that much in the event that they actually meet up with another team. Or else it's going to be a 4 versus 2, and they're just going to be handicapped in the end. And now, as you can see, we do have a really small circle with a lot of players that's just going to be inhabiting a big amount of real estate around the area. Right by, I believe that we're looking at Brasilia, or rather, Brasilia, and a little bit of the campsite on a bit of the western side of the campsite. Hard to get. They are definitely hard to get. And they would want to get a little bit more kills for themselves as they are just firing down a lot of lead over to the side of campsite.
Yep, Team Eclipse is going to be having a confrontation against Hard to Get, but as we spoke Abstract just now, all 3 teams that were right around Brasilia, they have been revealed by the UAV, and all the teams know about maybe Argon. He's going to be having a fight against Hard to Get as well, as Voidface not landing any shots onto Jabat, onto a Jim as well, but Voidface gets tagged out quite a bit, and right now it's Hard to Get versus 2 teams right around the corner. Glow Wall being popped out, the tree is not going to save him. A Jim is going to be attempting to break off the glow wall, attempting to get a pick onto Voidface, but Voidface still playing the patient game, popping the glow wall way up in front to get himself more cover. Right now, this is not looking good for Hard to Get because they have no cover to work with. They have to play really, really fast because they have to circle. They don't want to give up that specific area because that specific area covers a lot of the areas of the zone. And Phoenix is going to be pushing up onto forward. They're going to be pushing on to Hard to Get really, really soon. They don't want Hard to Get to specifically have this particular area. But on the other side, Team Eclipse will be having a fight onto Baby Argon, and Jabat will be dropping real low. But Eclipse, one by one, and Baby Argon gets themselves a second squad wipe and total of 8 kills for themselves. Right now, one member of Baby Argon is going to be still scouting out onto the members of Hard to Get, and this is not looking good as well for Hard to Get, but no escape. Will be getting themselves a kill onto Legend Rumble. 2 members getting taken out, 6 kills for themselves as well. They are looking good, Abstract. They are looking really, really good.
Well, hello, says Roar. They are just gonna be hiding inside of the glow wall and trying to make sure that he's pretty much a-okay. Well, in the meantime, we do have Hazik coming in from No Escape. He's just gonna be lobbing some grenades over, and the glow wall just gonna be completely taken down. But I don't know about this. The grenade definitely lands onto Zusen, and just managed to take him out. Well, in the meantime, on the other side of the map, it does seem like we do have quite some big fight being ensued. We do have Baby Argon. Cobra is now down, but it's okay because we still have the big man Jabat dealing quite some good amount of damage to the opponent's side. It is going to be Baby Argon versus Hard to Get. I'm not too sure how this fight is going to end up, but we are able to see a Jim trying to get his land onto the bodies of Hard to Get. But the players of Hard to Get, they're trying to split themselves out as much as possible, as far as possible, just so that they can kind of cover the perimeters and just force out the players of Baby Argon. Will that tactic work? It's gonna be tough to say. While we are looking at the rest of the teams trying to make themselves get themselves into the finals, get themselves into the smaller circle, which is going to be one hell of a disaster really soon.
Oh my god! I just saw one of the members of Ononoka just sniped one of the members. He's gonna be continuing sniping, but he's gonna get knocked out. But Hard to Get is gonna be still engaging on to Baby Argon, and Phoenix is running away for his life. Jabat as well running for his life, and circle is closing.
Oh.
This is not a good position for them as well. Right close up onto the circle, but grenade gets thrown out. Shira has to be careful. He's gonna be pushing out onto the Baby Argon side, but Baby Argon has the cover. They're right now playing against the Dance, but Hard to Get Batman will get the kill. White Mist will get the kill as well, and they just shut down. They just shut down the whole squad from Baby Argon, and they are looking strong and strong. But right now, No Escape is gonna be pinching. He's gonna get pinched down by 2 squads. He's gonna be pinched down by Auto Knockup. And Auto Knockup is right now in a very, very bad spot. Legend Rumble is right behind them as well, because the Hazik would be attempting for the push and Taken gets knocked down. Will be wiping out Legend Rumble as well for themselves. So 9 kills for No Escape, and this is going intense. 3 teams left onto this small circle. Auto Knockout is still alive, and Abstract is not looking good for Hard to Get. As we can see, Hard to Get is in a very, very bad position because No Escape is going to be looking at them, and Voidfix has just been knocked out.
2 members of Hard to Get is now eliminated, or rather being knocked down. Auto knockout with 1 man down, and it does seem like we do have a couple of sniper shots coming in from Mr. D, but unfortunately it didn't really quite do a lot because the only thing that he's managed to do is just not get someone knocked down. But his positioning itself is going to be pretty bad, as the zone is going to be slowly flushing him in to closer and closer to the center of the circle, while we're taking a look at Noxcape getting eliminated out to the 3rd place. Batman, the last man remaining, coming from Hard to Get. How about Auto knockout? It's going to be 1 versus 1, and just like that, Hard to Get is now eliminated, and Auto Knockout has gone themselves with 2 booyahs in a row.
I think I just saw, like, off screen. I think off screen I just saw Auto Knockout get themselves a triple kill with a grenade launcher. I just saw that off screen because there was a small glimpse of three bars with AKO and then a grenade launcher. And then I'm like, wait a minute, that just if that moment was captured on screen, it would be a highlight for sure. It'll be a highlight for sure. But
I mean,
yeah.
One thing's for sure is the highlight from Batman tossing in a grenade, getting a 3-man kill while everyone is just kind of stuck inside of the from the glow wall. I mean, I'm pretty sure that is going to be quite a highlight as well. But ultimately, let's just analyze a little bit as to this game, because we do have quite a big roundabout view as to what happened in at the final stages of the circle, and of course what has happened for No Escape. They did manage to get themselves a decent amount of kills. They did manage to get themselves a team wipe onto Baby Argon, while Hard to Get has swooped in. Oh wait, Hard to Get is the one that managed to swoop in and kill the entirety of Baby Argon, am I right?
Yes.
While No Escape had a full team wipe on another team as well. But unfortunately, No Escape did not manage to clinch themselves with the top few placing. But I don't think it matters, because I think No Escape did manage to clinch themselves with a huge amount of kills.
Yep, I think they fight on the final score. I think they got 9 kills in total, nine times two, which is about 18 points. I would say, 18 points plus on the top five placements. I'm not good with math, so abstract. I'm not gonna count it. I'm just gonna let production do deciding on to the maths. But Auto Knockout has shown a great performance on this particular series between A versus C. But no, sorry, B versus C. Sorry. But right after this, we're
Mhm.
gonna be moving on to Group A versus C. But abstract, do you have anything else to say before we close out this particular series?
I mean, ultimately, I would say that for Auto Knockout, they have done exceptionally well, and I'm really looking forward to see what they have to have in store for us for A versus C. But I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see them at the top of the leaderboards for match 3 and match 4, because there is quite some contenders in the opponent's side that did manage to score themselves with a great number of kills. I am not too sure how much kills Auto Knockout has managed to clinch for themselves, but I will be very interested to see what that leaderboard will be. And I'm sure that all of you guys, all the viewers, are interested to see that as well. But you guys will only be able to feast on that information after this short break.
Una mattina mi sono alzato, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Una mattina mi sono alzato e ho trovato l'invaso, oh partigiano, portami via.
Dia mati dengan circle. Now, Azik sekali lagi. Granat launcher balik berjaya mendapatkan kill 14. Mendapatkan Buya di sini. Peluang telah dibuka. Titan ditekan dan ditekan.
Mi sono alzato, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Una mattina mi sono alzato e ho trovato l'invaso, oh partigiano, portami via. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Partigiano, portami via, che mi sento di morire. E se io muoio da partigiano, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. E se io muoio da partigiano, tu mi devi seppellire.
You thought you knew my story. This world is unjust and cruel. I won't know more of it. That's why you're here. They say you like to pry, but I only see curiosity. People call you reckless. I see you of no fear, where others see your arrogance. I only see grit. They call you sly and hasty, but you bring the quick wit. Why are you here? For a bank. Biggest of all. We're taking back what's been stolen. And it will be the greatest heist you ever joined. Get ready for Plan Bermuda.
E seppellire lassù in montagna. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao. Garena.
Una mattina mi sono alzato, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Una mattina mi sono alzato e ho trovato l'invaso.
Welcome back to the Free Fire Tri-Nation Cup. We've just finished up our second series of the day between Group B and C. And of course, I know for everyone that's just tuned into the stream, welcome back. Let's take a look at the results, gentlemen, and see where everyone ended up for their points. Because of course, we're not just playing Free Fire for nothing today. Of course, we are playing for points to see whether or not they can make it to the top of their brackets. Before we show the scores, I kind of want to ask you two, do you feel like there were any surprises in those two matchups that we saw between groups B and C?
Match 3. Match 3 is by far the biggest surprise. I'm pretty sure that you overheard as well. The knockout of Hard to Get, No Escape, as well as AV Elites is definitely not something that I personally expected because, like I said, they are possibly one of the few teams that have very promising results so far.
Yep, and I think match 4 was the one who threw me off a little bit because I see Auto Knockout just held their ground. They were holding their ground to the point that no one is actually killing them left, right, front, center. They were just dominating the whole entire area for themselves. They got good coverage. They got themselves the kills that they wanted. In the end, they got the circle for themselves. In the end, I think things did not work well for Team No Escape. They had the first team wipe that they wanted as well. They got the 4 kills, and so I think we saw Baby Argon get themselves a team wipe. But I think Circle plays a huge favor in this game because it's still a battle royale. Circle is still one of the key things that will be noted on. I think Auto Knockout just played match 4 really well.
Well, let's take a look at the results for our third and fourth match of the day to see where everyone ended up on the scoreboard. Now, Auto Knockout, they did manage to get the booyah for the first match between B versus C, but it's Bloody Head that actually comes ahead by 1 point. A single point, folks. This is where kills become very important because, yes, placement points, they're awesome, but if you can get a whole load of kills under your belt, that could be whether or not you are going to be sitting pretty on that leaderboard. Did you guys expect Bloody Head to actually come out on top here?
No, definitely.
No for me.
No, not at all, because I think me and Abstract were watching Bloody Head playing a little bit passive into the early to mid game, but when it comes to late game, they just switch on their war mode. They go for kills, they go for pushes, they go for nade kills, they will push whoever they see. But I don't know, Abstract. I think you have the most comments on Bloody Head. I just don't know, Abstract, because Bloody Head has just, I wasn't expecting this at all.
Me neither, to be honest, because they were the team that kind of got stuck and stranded in at the bridge, right? So I wouldn't expect them to deal like a lot of damage or perhaps get a lot of kill. Granted, they did manage to force No Escape away from their position. I didn't know whether it was Bloody Head that actually got the kill, but looking at the kill points, I would like to believe that they managed to. And not to forget, Legend Rumble were also gatekeeping them at the bridge. So a lot of things has happened, and a lot of things have went past our foresight, and ultimately Bloody Head getting themselves with the first place in the B versus C matchup, game number 1, is definitely not something we expect, especially since they placed themselves in third place, while LCMY placed themselves in second and auto knockout with first place with the Booyah. So it's just not something that either of us have expected, and I'm pretty sure that the viewers did not expect that as well.
Well, I'm very sure they also didn't expect what happened at the bottom of the bracket of this matchup. You know, the one where some of the favorite teams kind of got knocked out early. If we take a look at our 7th to 12th place team, if we can take a look at that. Hopefully we are going to be switching over to the lower bracket. Here we go. No Escape and AV Elite and Hard to Get and Baby Argon and Raw Squad. Basically all of the top performing teams, basically bottom 6. What happened?
Almost
I
all
honestly have no idea how to explain this.
I
Yeah,
think that
we-
was
we
their
kinda
warm up
looking-
match. I think so.
I
There
would
was
be
a warm
surprised.
up match for them. Yeah, because I think there was a little bit of difference between I think No Escape, AV Elite, and Hard to Get, and Baby Argon as well because they got 7th to 12th place on this series on the first map, but on the second map wise, it's totally different. But I think it was No Escape and AV Elite. It was very unfortunate for them because they were stuck in spots that they got pinned down. They got pinned down by I think pinned down from high grounds or maybe even like some other angles that they couldn't expect people to coming from. But I don't know, Abstract. What's your thoughts on this?
I mean, ultimately, we're just looking at a small little switcheroo for the leaderboards, right? So, understandably, AV Elite, no Escape, Hard to Get, Raw Squad, as well as Baby Argon are the ones that is in many people's minds. But unfortunately for Special Army MY, they haven't really made quite an impact. But the fact that they managed to get themselves in the 8th placement is pretty good as well. But unfortunately, still no kills for themselves. No Escape, AV Elite. I mean, most of it all for No Escape is just bad positioning all around because they just didn't quite expect there were a team which is Bloody Heads by the bridge. I believe that what they wanted to do is just force Legends Rumble away from their current positioning, or perhaps even get a kill to bump up even closer and closer to where they are. But the only reason why No Escape is unable to get even closer to the vicinity of where Bloody Heads is because of the bridge itself. The bridge is the dividing factor that just kind of threw way too much lead across the place around the 3-dimensional space, and there's just no way that No Escape can even get close. So they had to escape, and unfortunately, No Escape, they decided to go for the roundabout route, try to backstab Bloody Heads at the bottom of the bridge, which unfortunately turned out to be quite a disaster.
I do believe our next matchup is just about to begin, so let's take a look at our second match of the day, or at least the second match of this group, very quickly before we jump on in. Auto Knockout, not only did they secure the Booyah, but they also managed to tie with No Escape for the top kill points of this series, 24 points, or if we do some math here, there's no ad math on the stream, but you guys have me, 12 kills per team here between No Escape and Auto Knockout. Did you say this is a little bit more standard in terms of the results that we could have expected? Because now we're seeing No Escape here, we've got Hard to Get, Baby Argon is here. Was this more what you were expecting? Yeah?
This is what
Absolutely
we're
no
expecting.
surprise.
Yep, but Auto Knockout was a surprise because Auto Knockout suddenly just came out of nowhere because we're seeing Auto Knockout struggling on the previous games, but on this specific game, I think they just had to circle with them all the time because they were having the game of their lives onto this particular series because they got kills left and right. They got some third-party kills as well from other perspectives, but I think No Escape is the one who almost came out clutch, but eventually they didn't get the results that they wanted eventually because Auto Knockout was there to actually kill them off to get the remaining kill points.
Now, of course, we are going to be jumping into our next series in just a moment. So that concludes Group B versus C. We're just going to take a look very quickly at the bottom end of the brackets. Unfortunately, Raw Squad playing very well in the first half of the day will be sitting 8th in their final match of the day. AV Elite finishing in 11th place. And Unfortunately for Raw Squad and AV Elite, because they're Group B, they are done for the day. Next up is going to be A versus C. If you're in Team B, you cannot get any more points. It's going to be a little bit scary because now it's going to be in the hands of Groups A and C. Because if you've done really well in Group B, the results from A and C could still blow them out of the water. They could still get pushed down the brackets. Is there anything you guys are kind of looking forward to for Group A and C? Because we've just finished Group B versus C. B is loaded with Filipino squads, and C is mostly a Malaysian squads. Now, because it's Group C and A, there are a lot of Malaysian squads in both these groups. So do you think we could be looking at maybe slower paced Free Fire here?
Yes, it most definitely, because how like what Ashtar mentioned earlier, like the meta passive. But I think well, that's it for me. I think because the meta isn't really passive. So Abstract, anything you want to add on?
Absolutely not, because this is exactly what I think will happen. Most of the teams will definitely want to play things safe. And speaking of the game, it does seem like we're going to be thrown right into the game, taking a look at a flight path, which is completely horizontal from the eastern side all the way to the west side. And well, looking at things, it does seem like Bermuda is going to be the map that we're going to be looking at right about now. So it will be cutting through, and of course, allow most of the players and teams to parachute around to the riverside, Karatori, Bimasati Strip, Plantation, Katulistiwa, Graveyard, Observatory, Bullseye Shipyard, and many others, and so forth. So if you have the entire bird's eye view right now, we're looking at the map, right? Most of the teams, or rather, I can see two teams in the form of who are these players? Okay, so I see I see Baby Argon, as well as BQ, right? So they are right smack in the center, right? Bosco is just inside of Peak. So I wouldn't be surprised if they were to just fall back and run away and not want to deal with any fights, because that has kind of been the case so far, while Phoenix is now under fire by LCMY Boss.
But
that's not good.
Phoenix is dropping down really, really low. He's running for his life. He's going to be healing up quite a bit for himself as well. But LCMI Bosku is going to be chasing him down, not letting him just run away like that without a fight. But members from Bosku as well will get into the fight with the rest of the members from Baby Argon as well. They'll be dropping really low. Really low. They're going to be healing themselves up and going to be run out. But Legend Rumble will get a first blood onto one of the members from 4X-Men Esports, and this is not looking good as well. But Boss Crew, one member dropped already by Phoenix. Phoenix is going to be aggressively pushing forward, but Glow Wall being popped, play by play. Phoenix is not gonna end well for him. But right now, Boss Crew is going to be pushing up onto the side of Baby Argon. But two members of Boss Crew has been dropped. They finished the kills onto the side of Baby Argon. Right now, it's all left to Cobra and a Jim. Right now, one of Sawi is going to be maintaining the position that he's going to be holding for himself. He's going to be fighting off Jabat, and Jabat is not in a good position. But he gets the knockdown to Sawi, so it's a 1v3 situation. It's really winnable for Jabat. Glow Wall being popped out. FCRY is going to be pushing in forward, but Jabat still has a lot of room to work with. But Jabat dropping a little 9 HP left. Could he get out? Could he get some cover? But no, he has 9 HP left. He has no meds, and right now, Baby Argon is the first team to be eliminated instantly by Bosku.
Not gonna lie, their aggressiveness, yes, I do commend the aggressiveness, and I really like to see aggressiveness in this game, but perhaps not in this kind of aggression. If you want to go on aggressive, you have to still calculate your chances of winning and understand and kind of test the waters. But in this case, for Baby Argon, one of the players just randomly decide to run straight up the ridge and just decide to take a battle 1 against 4, which understandably is not the best case scenario. And that is going to be the factor that kind of made Baby Argon in a really bad position, as well as one man down. Because the opponents already have a lot of glow walls that's already being erected up. So they have more than enough time to pick up their fellow ally and get things back up in a jiffy. But Baby Argon still went straight for it. In fact, the best case scenario for that is actually to neglect that one member that ran up the ridge and play for placements and just find another way to relocate themselves and just reposition themselves instead of running straight up the ridge and fight against the devil.
Yep, I think they wanted to try out the aggression that we mentioned earlier. They just wanted, like, maybe no high risk, high reward kind of thing. Like they want to get kills. They want the placement points as well. You gotta have a balance between both. I think I totally agree with you. I think that was a little bit of overconfidence being played by the side of Baby Argon, and that costed them their spot. And right now they are the 10th place without I think they got 2 or 1 kill, if I'm not mistaken. But Special Army MY right now on our screen is gonna be rotating and shifting themselves towards for the center of the circle. But No Escape is going to be holding ground on the side of Clock Tower and near Factory. I think there might be gatekeeping near Factory as well, but Pachinok will be held by Legend Rumble, and there's another team that's going to be coming right behind Legend Rumble, which is Auto Knockout. And No Escape as well is going to be coming right behind Auto Knockout. What is this? And we can see 4X-Men. I think one of the members from 4X-Men is all across the map, and he's in the sea. He's not eliminated. He's in the water or somehow.
Oh, I thought I remember seeing like 1 or 2 members from 4X-Men that was actually eliminated, or perhaps it was just a knockdown and he got picked up. But ultimately, we still have 9 teams remaining, 32 players alive. Most of these players are definitely would want to get their way into the southeastern side, because that is exactly where the circle is. We do have the entirety of Sentosa that is that's being covered by the circle, but I wouldn't believe that any of the players would eventually make their way over to Sentosa, because of the fact that the unlikeliness of the circle popping in Sentosa is very, very low, and it makes more sense for you to swim over to Sentosa than the other way around. So most of these players definitely got their brains in the game, but in the meantime, this is what we are looking for. Auto Knockout finds himself in an engagement against Legends Rumble, and a frag grenade throws out, but it ricocheted behind, and it doesn't seem like things are working towards his way, because he has fragged himself right out, and he did not expect that coming. Legends Rumble has got 1 man down for the opponent's side without them even doing anything at all. While the entirety of Auto Knockout, they are heading and staying outside of the vicinity, while 1 person is going to be breaching into the house. Mirul not being able to do anything quite much, but unfortunately, baby, just going to be completely eliminated by Zen. A lot of glow walls just going to be activated and erected. We do have Taken just going to be hiding right behind the wall, gets himself right on the gilly and become a shrubbery. Be the shrub. And it's just going to be waiting for the perfect opportunity to just go right through. But it doesn't seem like Mr. D is interested in getting the kills just about yet. Most of the players from Auto Knockout is still available. And as for Taken, he's just going to be waiting for the perfect opportunity to come right out from the shrubbery. But 1 against 2, how exactly is he supposed to do this right now? He's just going to be running inside and outside. But just like that, it does seem like Auto Knockout has managed to make their way through and eliminated 1 entire team for themselves, despite the failure of the grenade.
Yep, and Legend Rumble, I admired the brush play, but there's a sort of way, because I think from the side of Auto Knockout, they have their eyes locked in on to Legend Rumble, and they want the kills. They are hungry. They want the place. They want as much points as they could get to close out week 2, day 1. But Eclipse unfortunately has 2 members being knocked out already, and I think it was part of No Eclipse, part of the No Escape chaos. So right now, Auto Knockout is going to be engaging onto Eclipse as well, and No Escape is just right around the corner, and they're getting ready to engage onto Eclipse anytime, because I think Shoyu or might even Akik has spot out Zeri already, and they're pushing in, they're pushing forward. They might attempt for a push right now this instant, but Hazik I think he's still contemplating whether to push in with the team or not. He might go around for the flank. We are not sure, but we can see Rain, Akik, and Shoyu are storming the building, ladies and gentlemen. They are going to be stormed in. They're going to be not waiting at all. vehicle being pushed in as well. Shotguns being pulled out. A few shots being landed out, but no one gets damaged just yet. Shoei gets a little bit of damage from the full vehicle. Grenade gets thrown out down the stairs, but will he get a kill? But Rain will be knocked down from another team that's right across. I think it was auto knockout that knocked them out, but not entirely sure. But Global will be blocking the way from the stairs, but grenade land, just a nice toss going out right behind the Global. Will be taking the Global out with the shotgun to the LMGs. Will be taking his Global right now this instant. Will they attempt for a full push right after this goal? But as he just bad positioning, bad movement, just dropped down from it, and the Clips, I think they just moved away, but Rainy will get a knock from Auto Knockout. Auto Knockout just third partying these two teams so hard. Right now, Rain has no cover, but he gets picked up as well. He's gonna go back and get himself a heal for instead. He's gonna be healing himself quite a bit. He's going to be waiting for a time to heal himself full. But right now, Auto Knockout has the eyes on these two teams. Eclipse and now No Escape is going to be in a very, very, very sticky situation. It's not looking good for these two teams. Shots being fired still towards Auto Knockout side, but no one has been damaged just yet. But Auto Knockout has the advantage on these two teams because those compounds see right through directly into one line. But Zen, oh my god, he just gets a knockdown onto Zen with the Scar L. And this is just a back and forth fight, Abstract.
I don't know how things are supposed to be transcending into, because we are looking at a 1 versus 1 versus 1 kind of fight going on. And for the team Eclipse, they're kind of sandwiched in between, and I don't think that things are gonna be looking good for them. But in the meantime, it does seem that 4X-Men has been eliminated. I don't know what's going on as well, but take a look at the screen as Eclipse has found themselves as the victim of the breach tactics that No Escape has adapted. And now they don't have to worry so much about Eclipse anymore, as No Escape will have their eyes on the prize, and the prize happens to come in the form of one team, and that is gonna be Auto Knockout.
Yup. Right now, Auto Knockout is in a good spot for themselves, but the danger zone is right on top, and whoa, the screen just froze. Oh no, okay, we're back to normal. And yeah, Auto Knockout has just got themselves into a very particular spot that is not good for themselves. So they're still fighting back and forth with No Escape, but taking a lot of damage. Shoyu has get it back off for a little bit, and these teams are going back and forth, but right now Danger Zone is right on top of Auto Knockout, but for the good part is they have cover, but they survived the danger zone yet again, and right now they're still gonna be head-to-head fight with No Escape, and I can see Rain with the Barrett bolt action sniper rifle. That one sniper hit could cause a lot of damage. A UAV has been deployed and has revealed these two teams right around this corner, so every team in the vicinity has known of their location and they might just push in. As we can see, Team SA is going to be right around the corner. Rain will be fighting onto some shots onto Auto Knockout, but not landing any. They're just having a back and forth fight. They're trying to get picks. If they get a pick, they will get for a push, but no one is getting the pick just yet. They're playing really smart. They're playing really safe. They're not doing anything rash, but I can see from the other side, SAF, one of the members has been knocked out, and LCMY Bosku as well is going to be attempting to move in, and the circle has shifted towards side of Pachinok, and right now it's up to whether the circle will be onto an open area or will it close down to Pachinok. So Abstract, from the situation that we're looking at, I don't know where is this going. So what are your options for these teams? You know, what kind of advice can you give throughout these teams right now?
Honestly, for No Escape as well as Auto Knockout, both teams are pretty much in the blind side, right? Because they have no idea where the other teams are. Well, in the meantime, there is a single team, and I believe that SDF is one of the teams, and not to forget another team that's around the vicinity. They have made their way into into Pontianak, because they know where No Escape as well as the Auto Knockout were. So they would want to try to third person, or rather would want to voucher one of these teams, and whatever, if they're able to, then they're just going to go straight in. SAF is going to be the one that's just going to completely take over the southern side of Pontianak, making sure that No Escape is going to be the one that is, well, being sandwiched in between. While we also have Special Army that is taking in the eastern side of Pochinok, which may also be the one that is sandwiching out Auto Knockout. So it is going to be a four-way firing going on about. And I don't know about this. They are in the circle, yes, but this is all up to luck and chance. Where's the next circle gonna be at? If the next circle is gonna land on either one of these teams, then that specific team is going to get a lot of kill points.
Yep. And so as well, you can see the circle is shrinking in, but we don't know where is it gonna land. And I'll see on my boss school. Oh my god, it's gonna be onto Auto Knockout's side again, ladies and gentlemen. We have seen it on previous matches, and we're gonna see it right now on this first series of Group A versus C. Auto Knockout has just got themselves the circle, but no escape is gonna be pushing on towards, and so SAF is gonna be pushing on towards Team Auto Knockout as well. They're gonna get the position, but I keep getting some shots landed on himself, but not dealing very good, but no escape. One of the members almost gets knocked out. They're dropping really low, and no escape is in a really bad situation because SAF and Auto Knockout is going to be firing onto them. They are getting pinched right now in one compound, but Bosku is going to be finding themselves a team that's right across the border. They're going to be knocking him out one by one. Will they get the kill? No. These two teams are really playing really passive. Bosku is just trying to get a kill, but shots being fired. Fax dropping really low. Mai is going to be running away for himself as well, but Team GS is going to be running away for all their lives, but Team Bosco as well is going to get fired back from the side of Team GS. They are not looking good. These teams have to move in towards the circle. They're getting fired, trading bullets back and forth. No one is getting knocked out just yet. The crouch spam comes in. They're going to healing themselves up. And Kachik is not doing really good, but eventually they get a kill on 520. Kill secured and gets another kill, gets another knock onto Vax, and Vax will be eventually finished off instantly by the zone. But Auto Knockout back onto their side. There's still three teams fighting around in a triangular position. This is currently a Bermuda triangle right now. Oh my god, Shura getting the third party kills. The Special Army MY has been eliminated. Auto Knockout got himself second. Auto Knockout getting himself 7 kills on the board, and this is going good for Auto Knockout in the chance. But right now we can see no escape. Shoyu is the one man left alive in this team, ladies and gentlemen, and the circle shifted away towards them. But Auto Knockout is right around the edge of the circle. They couldn't have the chance to make a play, but Shoyu is going to attempt to make a play as well. He has the shotgun in hand. Will he go for an aggressive push and eventually get 1 or 2 picks for themselves and secure the top 5 spots for themselves? But I'm not sure about this abstract. I'm not sure about what Shoyu is going to do, but this is looking very dire for Team No Escape and looking very good for Auto Knockout.
The only reason why No Escape has gotten some sense eliminated because of the great amount of luck that Auto Knockout has. And to this point, I'm kind of curious as to which deity they actually prayed to. But in the meantime, we're taking a look at Shoyu immediately getting himself a single kill right onto Mr. D. But unfortunately, the rest of the team, they did manage to get themselves a pretty decent trade. Auto Knockout with 2 men down already. Zen as well as Shura is going to be the only one remaining, just going to be fighting against the rest of the team coming up here. SAF, most of them is still pretty healthy, but how about the rest?
God,
SAF, one of the grenade launcher right in the face of the opponent. How about Debate? Debate is just gonna be the one that's just gonna be heading on out. He trying to get himself a kill. Minato gets 1 kill right onto Judge. A lot of players from Special Army MY is still available. It is a 4 against 1 against 1. How exactly are they supposed to lose right now? Because there's absolutely no way that they can lose. Minato brings 1 down. The last man remaining is going to be a member from SAF as he's slowly going to be flushed out into the circle. The rest of Special Army MY has got their guards down already because they know that this game is done for. McRory, the best thing that you can do right now is eliminate yourself and deny the opponents the points. But unfortunately, he did not do that. The best case scenario was to just be consumed by the circle.
Well, Special Arm, SAFMY showed themselves strong in this particular game, I can say, but Auto Knockout was having the position for themselves, but in the end, I think for the last closing moments of the circle, they did not have their fights going well for them, and so as well, I think they got pinched as well from the other side, as I think off screen. Like, yes, Auto Knockout got themselves the circle advantage, but I have to give props to Shoyu, because Shoyu made a bold play, killing one member from Team Auto Knockout and eventually dying to one of the members from Auto Knockout, but instead will get himself one kill, which is 2 points, and so as well, top 5 in the placements, and I think that will go really good for Team Auto Knockout. But so as far as I can see, Special Army Forces MY, they showed themselves big this game. They had a lot of patience. They're playing really, really passive. Not that passive, but they know how to adapt towards these situations as such. And had to. No, this is getting out of hand. Like, these teams are switching it up in today. No one is going for that passive kind of meta already. These teams are like switching it up, Abstract.
Yeah, indeed. Special Army MY, I definitely did not see that coming, but I'm pretty confident that they don't have a lot of kills to their name, so there could be a possibility that yes, they managed to get themselves with 20 points because of placements, but when it comes to kill points, they are definitely going to be losing to some other team. And we do have two teams that managed to get themselves with the placement points. I believe that SAF is one of them. I can't remember which was the other one. So the number 17 points as well as the 15 points has been taken away. But when it comes to Auto Knockout, I believe that they have gotten themselves quite a number of kills to their name, and they managed to score a pretty decent placement score as well. So I wouldn't be surprised that Group A versus C match number 1 is in favor of Auto Knockout again.
Yeah, like Auto Knockout has been showing itself quite a number of games already, and they be showing those aggression that we always wanted. I think we saw No Escape is the team that went full aggressive onto Baby Argon, if I'm not mistaken, or is it I kind of forgot like No Escape had a head-to-head fight in the first start of the game, I think, or was it not No Escape? Or is it like Baby Argon having a fight against I kind of forgot, but
I think it was Baby Argon. Yeah, Baby Argon fight with someone. Yeah, but they have they were overly aggressive in the wrong way, perhaps, and they are the first one to get knocked out in 10th place. So at least we know that Baby Argon is the one that didn't quite do that well. But unfortunately, we don't have enough information as to which team is the one that managed to get that free 8 points for themselves.
Yep, and so as well, I think we're gonna be jumping onto game really, really soon. But first things first, I have to say, Baby Argon, yes, I think they could play a little bit more better. I'm not judging anything, but I think Baby Argon is a team that is, a team that is need to be feared in terms of, like, in Bermuda or Purgatory. But I think, like, Abstract, I think what you said was true. That I think they were overly confident, and they were in a spot that they shouldn't take fights. But there are some teams that they are in spots to take fights that we don't see them take the fights as well. As we can see from Auto Knockout, they had a lot of chances to actually wipe out No Escape, because No Escape was right in front of them. They were rushing into the building, and they could potentially rush in together and get the third party onto No Escape, and so as well get the kill onto Eclipse. But they were just not confident enough, I guess. So I don't know what's happening between all the teams right now, because they're switching up the playstyle, and certainly switching up more towards a hybrid kind of playstyle, like I mentioned, on the early stages of the tournament. So I don't know, Abstract. What are your thoughts?
I think that they are still, kind of getting used to this current matchup for B versus C, because there's a lot of, adapting that you gotta have to do, because you are always facing new teams every 2 rounds. So you don't really have a lot of time to huddle together and be like, okay, this team did this team did that, and, try to formulate a strategy whatsoever. That is kind of totally eliminated, right? The only way that you can deploy these tactics as well as these, strategies is the next day or the next week. And it is not an easy thing to remember. So right now, I would really like to see how exactly the rest of these teams is going to make full use of the information they have gotten in game number 1, or perhaps in the other games. Because for what I know and for what I understand, this is A versus C in Purgatory, and they haven't fought against each other in Purgatory just yet. I'm not too sure. I think that they did, but perhaps only once. So they don't have enough of that information to go through, and so most of these games we should be looking at quite reckless plays. They can't make too big brain plays.
Yep. As just now, I think we saw the flight path. It's from the southwest to the northeast, and Legend Rumble has got himself the first kill onto Genesis All Star already. Things are getting spicy. Genesis All Star dropping yet another member. Fax is being knocked down, but they will get the kill onto Legend Baby, and Me is gonna be dropped out as well. Last 520 is the last remaining member for Genesis All-Star. Fax is going to be picked up. Check is getting knocked down. Will they get the kill? But no, the members for Legend Rumble is going to be holding on to the ground. He's going to be protecting Taken, but Taken dropping really low. He's going to get revived up. He's going to be safe and sound. But Genesis All-Star popping up the global. Fax attempting to run for his life, but 520 will eventually get killed off. And Legend Rumble got themselves 3 kills early this game, and Kai will get will be spotting out onto members of Baby Argon. Members of Baby Argon are here already. What is this happening? This is a third party that I was just mentioning what Auto Knockout should do, and this is what Baby Argon is right now doing towards these two teams. Genesis All-Star Fax is not gonna survive this for long, and right now it's all up to Legend Rumble versus Baby Argon. Right now, Taken is the last remaining member from Baby Argon, and this is going fast. This is going aggressive, and I think they know where Taken is.
They definitely know where Taken is, but I don't know about this. But Baby Argon definitely have the right mind to go for the aggressiveness. They heard of all the activities happening inside of this huge house, and they have decided to go straight for it and preparing to get themselves the kill. But here we have Taken hiding at the roof, and I don't know if whether Baby Argon even have that, possibility or even that angle to be able to take Taken out. Unless
unless
what you do. Almost. One token, 3 tries. 1 token, 3 tries.
Yep.
Let's see whether he's
attempting
able to
again.
go right. Yes, he's
got
managed
it.
to.
But
And
Taken
knows.
saw him off. Yep.
Taken knows.
He's gonna
and
jump
he went
in. And Taken is safe and sound.
After a long time of trying to get himself into the roof, he went back into the house, and all of the members from Baby Argon has retreated and out of the building. It's not a bad. It's not a bad thing. I think it's totally fine.
Yeah, it's totally fine, and because they don't want to get over greedy, because on that angle, Taken, especially Taken, he could get himself free kills from that. Because if Baby Argon didn't know where Taken was, Taken will eventually get away with free kills, and so as well getting 1 knock or maybe 2 knocks and finish them off by himself, and eventually walking away with 2 free kills, and he could just hide back into that compound. But Auto Knockout right now on the screen is gonna be moving towards the side. I think this is the northern side of the map near golf course. I think it was golf course. Oh no, sorry, quarry. My bad, my mistake. Excuse me. And Shura is the star player of the team. He's making amazing, incredible plays, and Miral is going to be handling the sniper this time with the Car 98 on hand. And I don't know, Abstract. I think Auto Knockout has certainly showed up great in this tournament, and so as well they have made a spectacular performance. But what do you think about 4X-Men right now? Because 4X-Men is not looking entirely good in this series.
I mean, well, for last week, we definitely have our eyes on 4X-Men, but for some reason today, they haven't really quite made a name for themselves, and they have been getting knocked out. They didn't manage to get a decent amount of kills, and well, Auto Knockout just seems to be, well, knocking them out and knocking everyone else out. So I'm starting to have a little bit more bias towards Auto Knockout, and starting to believe that they definitely have what it takes to be one of the few teams that is capable of winning the series. And they're probably going to join in the ranks together with 4X-Men. Hard to get. In fact, I think that 4X-Men may actually drop down in the leaderboards in the overall rankings. Hard to get is definitely gonna go up. As for Auto Knockout, yeah, they are definitely gonna go up as well. So Hard to Get and Auto Knockout, both of them is probably one of my go-tos, as well as No Escape. Although they did kind of, drop down in terms of their points a little bit, because they haven't really quite gotten themselves with any booyahs as well as a lot of kills just yet. But it can still happen, because we still have a long week. Still a lot of series to go. A lot of weeks in this series, rather.
Yep. Think No Escape is a little bit down today, but I'm not sure. But LCMY Bosku has been showing up as well. They made some very sneaky plays. They get themselves a lot of third party action that they needed to get some free kills for themselves. But taken on the screen is the last remaining member from Team Legend Rumble. He was unfortunate. His teammates were unfortunately get wiped out by one of the, I think it was team. Okay, I kind of forgot that actually, because that happened way too quick. I think it was Baby Argon. Yeah, Baby Argon wiped.
Yeah, Baby Argon.
Eclipse.
Correct.
Yeah, Baby Argon wiped them out, and eventually, Taken is the one man left standing, and he's safe and sound, and he's gonna be fighting for the placement points himself. And the Team SAF is just right around the corner, and Auto Knockout is gonna be moving towards the bridge and getting themselves on that juicy spot. And UAV has been deployed onto the northwest side of the map, potentially revealing some of the players that is going to be there, but not yet. But the circle is shifting towards Brasilia's side, so we are. I think we're going to have a Brasilia ending as well, Abstract.
Yeah, I would believe that is going to be the case as well. But hey, it's a little bit too early for us to say that. But in the meantime, we are looking at for X-Men. It does seem like they're going for a little bit more towards the passive play. Ooh. Wait,
Phoenix.
He didn't get a kill. He almost got himself the kill. But in the meantime, we were talking about 4X-Men playing passively, but it does seem like they do have the area. They do have the avenue to be able to toss out a couple of lands to the opponent's body, and I have no idea how 4X-Men actually managed to do that. In the end, they have managed to clinch 3 kills to their name onto players of No Escape, I think. But now, Logan has got his eyes on his targets onto Phoenix as well. A new team for them to wipe out.
Yep, babe. I think No Escape was in a very bad spot for them to be in, but Logan with the long range snipes gets one knockdown. Will keep on tapping with his lovely DMR, eventually getting the kill for himself. But Auto Knockout is right around the corner to get a frag for himself onto the side of Baby Argon as well. Baby Argon is going to be pinched back by 4X-Men and by Auto Knockout as well, and No Escape is really unfortunate by them. They had 3 members being killed off and 1 member left remaining, and this is going bad for No Escape from the early start, because they were really unfortunate, because 4X-Men was shooting them head to head. They were having a head-to-head fight, but Baby Argon just came out from nowhere with the third party, with the backstab. Right now, 4X-Men will make the fallback and return onto the bridge and attempt for a bridge camp to see anyone is going to be attempting to rotate from their side of the map. And No Escape, it's all left to show you. The man himself is going to be attempting to play safe and get himself a playable point, but he's going to be attempting to rotate around the corner. 4X-Men is going to be guarding the bridge, so Shoei has to fight his way out of it, or he can have a long way to rotate. He can use a long way, or he could just fight off the members for 4X-Men, but I don't recommend do so. And 4X-Men has total control over the bridge, and Shoyu is not gonna go anywhere at all.
Indeed. The only way that he can get himself into the circle is, well, I don't think he can. 4X-Men have created quite a gatekeeping perimeter just to ensure that, Shoyu is unable to get himself towards the northern side or even to the eastern side. But it's still possible. But you have to risk some things a little bit, because the news. Okay, so right now, what Shoyu is doing, right, is he's wrapping around the perimeters of the current circle to go to the other side. Now, that was a mistake on my part, because he can definitely do that, because the only thing that was in my mind was for Shoyu to wrap around the perimeters of the new circle. So what Shoyu is doing right now is absolutely right, and he should absolutely get himself away from all of the encounters and try to get himself that placement points in the instead by being the second or even the third place without getting himself exposed.
Yep, 4X still guarding the bridge to cut off any rotations coming out from any teams possible. Might get himself some free kills, but as we can see from the circle, it's going to be moving on to Brasilia's side, as mentioned, and teams are going to be moving towards the center of the zone already. As we can see, Auto Knockout has got themselves a place that they're holding on to. And so as well, you can see LCMY Bascu is going to be getting themselves the crate, getting as much stuff as they need, and they're just going to wait it out. But oh, why is the danger zone always on Auto Knockout and Bascu? I've been noticing this, but everywhere they've been, the danger zone is right on top of their heads. I don't know what is happening, or just that they're just unlucky this evening.
Well, this is I would say that it's very likely kind of gonna be a give or take kind of thing for Auto Knockout, right? If they want the luck, right? If they want the luck of getting the circle always to them, then beware of this. Beware of the warning, the danger area, because it's going to be landing on them whenever possible because of their great lucks being inside of the circle all the time. Observe, Auto Knockout would probably be in the next 2 circles. I would say, I dare say, probably. Maybe.
Well, I have to agree with you on that because the way circle is shifting right now. Third circle is incoming, ladies and gentlemen. As we can see, the circle is moving in, and yes, Abstract, you are right, but when you see Eclipse getting a kill onto Show You, and No Escape will be eliminated on the 9th place on this series, and on match number 2, excuse me. And yep, Auto Knockout has the circle again. Yep. You know, prediction for Abstract is going to be always correct. Yes, it's a give or take, and praise the RNG gods that Auto Knockout has been blessed by the RNG gods themselves. And 4X is going to be playing relatively passive. He's going to be holding on to the bridge and attempting to see anyone rotate, but I don't think anyone would rotate from there already, but they have to cross this bridge, and Auto Knockout has the sight of the bridge. They have to be really, really careful about this. They have to be really careful where they want to rotate, because anywhere they rotate, they will meet players, but they're going to be running across onto Eclipse really, really soon, and Special Army Forces is going to be holding the compound right across Auto Knockout. I can see Bayet already spotted outside the member team Eclipse, and they're about to get into a fight, but they have to get into the circle before things start to happen. I think Bella getting the scope in, but not landing any shots just yet. But the third circle is closing. Fourth circle is about to appear soon, and Baby Argon is going to be pinching Eclipse right around the corner together with 4X. This is going to be a 3-way fight, ladies and gentlemen. Abella dropping very low, Anga dropping very low, but 4X is going to be pushed out. Once will be instantly dropped down, melted down by the MP40. Logan will be dropping down. Abella is just running in with the MP40. X-Unes will be dropping down. Anga will be dropped down back as well. Baby Argon with the back with the third party going on, and Baby Argon is going to push in with the advantage that they knew, lobbing grenades up front, back and center. They know that Eclipse has nowhere to go, and they know for a fact that 4X has nowhere to go. They're going to be chasing down onto Abella, and right now 4X is running away for their lives. 1 man left remaining, 2 man remaining. In the fact that Cobra will get the kill onto Abella, and Eclipse will be wiped out, and 7 teams remain on the map.
It does seem like despite all of that has happened, 4X is still pretty much alive, because they have Bayet that is still hanging around the corner, waiting for the perfect opportunity to go straight into the circle. And here comes the grenade launcher. 101 damage, waiting for Mr. D to come closer and closer. They did manage to erect the glow wall, but unfortunately, with all that said and done, Shura comes in from the other side and immediately have gotten himself with that immediate kill. That double glow wall from his 12 and 6 did not quite, well, go as expected.
Yup. Right now, Legend Rumble, last man taken is going to be holding down the fort, but Circle is not on his side. He has to make his way up on top of the hill, but it's going to be mission impossible for him because there is an open field to work with, and though all these teams have to move in. Because none of these teams are in the zone except for Baby Argon and for Special
Oh.
Army Forces. And this is not looking good. And LCMY Boss Q has been pinned down by SAF. One tap has been damaged by the zone. He's going to be attempting to move out from left and right. This is not looking good, but Zen will get knocked down by McRory. And Zen dropping really, really low already, but he will eventually get picked up by the members from his own teammates. And SAF is going to be still fighting alongside, but McRory will get knocked down as well. This is going back and forth. Jabat will get some knock, will get some damage done. And this is going back. This is really going back and forth for all these teams because this is a four-way fight potentially, and Cobra will get knocked down, and this is not looking good. Auto knockout versus Boss LCMY Bosku having a fight of their lives on the hillside, but Jura is going to be fighting onto the members from Baby Argon, and Baby Argon is going to be pinched by two teams as well, but Auto knockout has to pay attention onto LCMI Bosco because potentially it's not a potentially anymore as he gets knocked out by one of the members from LCMI Bosco, and auto knockout is really in a tight spot. Miro with 70 HP left managed to pop a glow wall right before he gets dropped down instantly, gets the heal off, gets everything up online. He's back to full HP, but he has to rotate as soon as possible. Circle is closing as possible, but grenades ain't lobbed down. Oh, Mr. D! He's not looking good. He's not looking safe. LCMI Bosco is just right around corner. Miro gets dropped down onto this stage. I don't think he's going to get picked up. He's going to be leaving him behind. He's going to attempt for the kill. He's sniping him down on the leg, but oh my god, the grenade just kills him off. And LCMI Bosco just running over. He's just running over Auto Knockout. Right now, Auto Knockout has been eliminated instantly. And LCMI Bosco and Baby Argon is going to be on a head-to-head fight. Right now, Special Army MY is not looking good as well. Japat is going to be killing himself out. Special Army MY getting funds is going to be dropped out. But these three teams are having a three-way fight. All these teams are shooting one to another, and no one is noticing that actually Special Army M1 has gotten the lead with that specific spot because they had the high ground that the glow was being popped up, but Phoenix gets damaged by the zone by a little bit. He gets touched by the zone a little bit more, but Jabat is dropping down very low, but Jabat will attempt to get the kill, but maybe Argon will get eliminated by LCMI Bosco. Right now, it's down to a 1v1 situation. Up to Kachik and up to Jabat. Who will come out alive on this 1v1 showdown? Will it be Bosco? But no, it will be Jabat!
My
Special Army MY.
Wow. Yeah, Special Army MY have gotten themselves with another win to the name. And the last part of the circle, right? There really wasn't any situation whereby I would say that, oh, this certain team have done badly, or they should have done this, they should have done that. But actually, yes, I may be able to say one thing. The team that were to push up into the circle at the fourth circle, right, is definitely going to be the one killed first, because the circle is already so small. Whichever team that left over behind, they will be able to get to kill whoever is going to be heading towards in front first. So I believe that we have got auto knockout that immediately went straight in and trying to get themselves into the circle just to be in the safety. But I think that they didn't quite expect themselves to be shot from the side, both sides, right at their 9 o'clock as well as their 3 o'clock, because on their 9 o'clock, the players were all the way behind. They were still inside of the blues, and they are not interested in jumping into the circle just yet. They just want to eliminate auto knockout first, then they go into the blues, which in this case is definitely the right thing to do. But to be fair, at that kind of situation, you can't exactly assess the situation that well and be like, this is the right thing, that's the wrong thing, let's do that. I would still like to commend every single one of these teams for holding on to their ground, and of course their resilience for that final fight, because that final fight was not an easy one, and by far probably the toughest end game circle that all the teams have seen.
Yeah, certainly. And as far as I see, that last fight was a three-way fight. It was like a Bermuda Triangle, but we were on purgatory. We were not on Bermuda, but the Bermuda Triangle has just been showed up. All these three-way fights happening right around the center, and I have to give I have to give props to Auto Knockout for surviving that long, because they were in a spot that they should not actually survive at all, because they were getting pinched by Baby Argon, they were getting pinched by LCMI Boss Crew, eventually getting pinched down by Special Army MY as well. So I don't know how to survive that, but eventually I think they got top 5 in the placements. But I have to say that I agree with you, Abstract, that everything happened really quick, really fast, and eventually Special Army MY has shown themselves on top again. So I have nothing else to say. I'm just speechless from the last fight.
Me too. So we are both equally speechless. So let's not dwell too much about what has happened in the previous few games, and we will talk a little bit more after we have managed to get the visuals out for the post game analysis for what's this match A versus C, right?
Over.
So we will come back in a while later, and then we'll have the overall standings. Very likely, I will let you know if whether we're gonna have that. But in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. We will be right back with you guys for the final updates.
Una mattina mi sono alzato, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Una mattina mi sono alzato e ho trovato l'invaso, oh partigiano, portami via.
Tapi dia mati dengan circle. Now, Aziz sekali lagi. Granat launcher balik berjaya mendapatkan kill 14. Untuk mendapatkan buaya di sini. Peluang telah dibuka. Titan ditekan dan ditekan. Dan
Una mattina mi sono alzato, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Una mattina mi sono alzato e ho trovato l'invaso, oh partigiano, portami via. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Partigiano, portami via, che mi sento di morire. E se io muoio da partigiano, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. E se io muoio da partigiano, tu mi devi seppellire.
You thought you knew my story. This world is unjust and cruel. I won't know more of it. That's why you're here. They say you like to pry, but I only see curiosity. People call you reckless. I see you of no fear, where others see your arrogance. I only see grit. They call you sly and hasty, but you bring the quick wit. Why are you here? For a bank. Biggest of all. We're taking back what's been stolen. And it will be the greatest heist you ever joined. Get ready for Plan Bermuda.
E seppellire lassù in montagna. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao. Garena.
Una mattina mi sono alzato, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Una mattina mi sono alzato e ho trovato l'invaso.
Welcome back to the Free Fire Tri-Nation Cup. We have just finished our matches between Group A versus C, and that's going to be it for today because we've just finished up all of our matches. And I know my casters, you guys were basically mind blown because Special Army MY, I don't know where they came from, but they decided to just bring their A game for these last two matches.
Mm-hmm. It's something that we did not realize, something that we did not expect, because they have kind of been in the lower part of the leaderboards for the first few games. But hey, like I said, it's never too late, and perhaps Special Army MY may give us their A game for the rest of the series for the upcoming weeks. Who knows?
Yep.
Anything to add there, Shadow, before we show the brackets for today?
Yep. And continuing on with Abstract, yes, Special Army MY definitely they're in the lower part of the leaderboards for I think for around a few games already, but suddenly things start to happen. I think they have the confidence back because they just got some kills left and right and center. I think they got their momentum up back to speed. They know where it is going from, and they know where to move on. And the rotations are much more cleaner from what I see, and they're a lot more patient than usual. They're a lot patient than according to in other teams in comparison. I think Secret Army MY is the most patient team I have ever seen in the whole entire tournament. Like, despite that we have aggressive teams like No Escape, we have Baby Argon, we have AV Elite, Hard to Get, all these passive aggressive teams in terms of gameplay. But I think what makes Special Army MY so special, I think, is just because of their patience. They just played a patient game. They waited out. They waited for the timing. They just get the picks. They just get as much as third-party picks as they can. They get the kills, and eventually they get the booyah.
Absolutely. Now, I know everyone's really looking forward to the overall standings, but before we show that, we do need to show the results for our final two matches of the day between Group A versus C. So let's start off with Game 1 between A versus C. We had Special Army MY secured the booyah. We did talk about this just now. Auto Knockout getting second place, even though they scored third in terms of placement, and No Escape actually scoring pretty high up. And this one was a bit of a weird round as well, because if you take a look at the kill distribution, it's the top two is Special Army versus Auto Knockout in terms of kills. But then after that, it just seems like it's sort of spread out because it's 22 points, then it's 21, then it's 20. It just doesn't seem like one person got all of the kills in this round.
It's pretty well spread out indeed, and honestly, I didn't quite expect that Special Army MY did manage to clinch themselves with so much kill points, because I think that they got like 22 points on the kill points, so I think that they've got a great amount of kills, which I thought that their passive gameplay in the start, we didn't quite capture most of that, so we don't really know how much they really killed in the entirety of the game. But from my understanding as to how they play their game, their play style is just a little bit more passive. So I don't know exactly where all those kills are coming from. But regardless of that fact, I still like to congratulate them for a great game in match 1 in this bracket of A versus C. While in the meantime, I also would like to put some stress on 4X-Men Esports because they just haven't been doing the best so far.
Yeah, most certain, definitely, because Forex-Men has been, holding on to their spots. I think they have particular spots onto Brasilia or maybe even the southern side of the map. They've been holding their ground, but fortunately, it didn't end well for them because most of the time they got pinched. Forex-Men got pinched by two teams. As I think from the scoreboard we can see, like as Danley mentioned and even Abstract you mentioned, the kills from fourth place and continuing on. I think most of the kills that was saturated is just because of I think they got third party kills, or maybe they just got picks one by one and it just left, rotate, things go back and forth between these teams because I from now on I'm seeing a pattern of third partying going on this specific series between Group A versus C.
Now let's take a look at our second match of A versus C. And again, this was a little bit of a sore one as well. And of course, we are looking at a pretty even kill distribution. Baby Argon actually being able to snag that first place because they got the most kills. They got 16 points out of all the squads, the highest, basically doubled from second place, which was Special Army MY, even though they secured the Booyah. Remember, kill points are just as valuable as those placement points. So if you're if you're a fan of Baby actually, why does it say Baby Argon? This is supposed to be Special Army MY. Oh, hang on. Is that just the wrong logo? Oh, okay, hang on. All right. So this is, I'm just going to double confirm with production. Is this Baby Argon in first place? Yeah? No? Okay, wait, who's supposed to be in first place here?
I think it's Special Army MY.
Is it Special Army? Okay, hang on. I'm a little...
Yeah.
My mind is blown. I'm lost, guys. Help me here.
Okay, so technically...
a bit of a graphical bug here.
Okay, so from what I see, it's Special Army MY on first place. Baby Auto Knockout is on second. Third is No Escape. Fourth is SAF. Then goes on to LCMY Bosku and down onto Genesis All Star. Am I correct, production?
All right.
That sounds right. Yeah.
Yeah,
that sounds about right. Looking at the logos, because I would say that the logos is the one that is accurate. Just that the team name was just kind of jangled up a little bit. So let's just disregard the team names, and we're just gonna be taking a look at their logo. So Special Army MY taking first place with a great amount of placement points as well as kill points. Which in this case, I would say that Special Army MY they definitely did do quite a bit for this round, especially in the later parts of the circle. I believe that is where most of that 8 body kills that they have done is at the later stages of the game. While in the early stages of the game, I don't think that they did much as well.
Yeah. Technically.
And
but
we'll just finish up with the bottom of the brackets here because, gentlemen, I know you're also looking forward to the final results for today to see what kind of changes we're looking at. Of course, as you can see, we've got Legend Rumble in 7th. I'm going to try and remember these logos. We've got Eclipse in 8th, 4X-Men in 9th, and Baby Argon in 10th. I need to learn some of these logos because I'm not helping myself here. All right, so before we go into the final results... Hang on. We'll talk about this in the final standings because I know a lot of people are looking forward to this. Now, this is the standings, including today's results. And luckily for No Escape, they still managed to maintain that first place. They have 313 points. Next is Auto Knockout. They are now in second place. Wow. And look how far down 4X-Men have dropped. This is
oh my God.
quite a shocker.
Wow.
That's a big margin and a big amount of point lead coming out from Auto Knockout. And so despite No Escape's performance in the early stages of the game, they managed to clinch out with 313 points. That's surprising. And Auto Knockout just boomed up the ladder and together we're hard to get. And so you can see Raw Squad. I mean, Abstract. I think this is the overall standings that we're predicting already into throughout our games today, I think.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's just I'm a little bit conflicted between the first place, second place, and the third place. Yes, I would agree that 4X-Men Esports would definitely drop down in the ladders, but the two teams that I said that will definitely go up is Auto Knockout as well as Hard to Get. Just that I didn't quite think that Auto Knockout would get so high above, as especially overtaking Hard to Get, because in my mind it just kind of seems as though Hard to Get has gotten themselves with more kills, and thus they would be even stronger than Auto Knockout. But I suppose I was right. They did get a lot of kills, but they're just missing out in the placement points department, and that is where they lose against Auto Knockout. So ultimately, Auto Knockout, they definitely got the best of both worlds that we have seen here. Hard to Get with the great amount of kills they're coming into this game, but if we drag on even more and more, and No Escape continues their kind of performance today, then they are definitely gonna be dethroned by either Auto Knockout or even Hard to Get.
Yeah, it's a bit of a scary situation to be in, because we're already starting to see how having some kind of consistency in your performance can really help you maintain your placement. No Escape, they didn't play amazing today. They seemed rather average. There were a couple times when they kind of got sniped out early, but they were able to bring it back because they made up for the bad start by having a reasonable placement. But for X-Men, all day, they just did not place anywhere. They were always towards the bottom of the bracket. They never really got the kills. If you look at their kill points, I'm very sure if you compared the kill points from today and last week, it would have only gone up by a little bit, not even a significant amount. They haven't even hit triple digits yet for kills, and they're in 5th place.
Yeah,
So
I would believe that Auto Knockout is.
Yeah.
I would like to believe that Auto Knockout was way below the standings, and perhaps not even close to for X-Men Esports current kill points. And the amount of kills that they have gotten today is absolutely ridiculous. So I would believe I would understand why they're so high up in terms of kill points as compared to for X-Men.
Anything you want to say here, Shadow Banjo?
I can just say that 4X-Men is just not having a good day for themselves today. I mean, from match 1 until the end of the match, until the end of the matches that's being played, until the end of the series, they're not having the best day of themselves, because Circle always shifts way far away from their position, and they have to make a long rotation. They have to make a long rotation. Eventually, they'll be caught up with the teams that's be eventually gatekeeping most of the time. But I think they pretty well hold their ground a lot, but they're just not having a good day. It's just they're just unlucky, I can say, for today. Depends on the Circle situation and such.
Yep. Now, before we do wrap up the show for today, let's take a look at the bottom bracket to see who, unfortunately, is going to be in the lower end, and is going to have to play a little bit harder tomorrow if they want to bring themselves up to at least that top 12 position. If we can get that graphic up right now. There we go. So these are our final teams. They're at the bottom of the brackets, unfortunately, and Genesis All-Star, they are quite far behind. It's going to be a pretty tough one, I think, for Genesis to climb back up. It's actually quite shocking, because I don't even remember who was... Wasn't it Supreme... Hang on. I'm trying to remember. Who was last place? Wasn't it Special Army MY that was in last place?
Yep.
For last week?
It was Special Army
If
MY.
I'm not wrong.
Where are they?
If we're not mistaken. Special Army
They
MY
have
eventually...
climbed themselves up.
Wow.
I think they're in 10th place right now. Either 10th or 9th place.
That's what 2 booyahs do for you folks. Booyahs are kind of important. 9th place.
And kills.
Wow.
A lot of kills has been credited to them as well. So
I'm actually really happy with how the placements are so far. And I know you guys are going to be excited as well, because last week we saw a domination of a small group of teams, but this week we're not seeing those same teams dominate anymore. We're seeing new names. We're seeing teams try different strategies, and we're seeing the top dogs being eliminated. So we could be in for a really crazy roller coaster ride following this league. I think at this rate, you can't even say who's a favorite anymore.
Yeah, honestly, it's tough. Like in the early start of the day, we have put quite some emphasis onto AV elites, right? But now we are looking at the overall scoreboard. They are actually ranked number 7. So we were a little bit too early in putting our bias onto them. But ultimately, looking at the way that they have played in the game, they are definitely a force to be reckoned with as well. It's just probably still the same kind of situation. Wrong place, wrong time kind of thing.
Yeah. Certainly, as
All right,
well
gentlemen.
as I mean, from what I see from what's the team name again? Eclipse. Eclipse has showed up as well, but they were in kind of the same spot as for X-Men Esports. They're just unlucky. I know that they made their rotations well. They got themselves some of the third-party kills that's going up because teams are fighting back and forth. They got themselves 1 or 2 picks from the knockdowns that the opposing team already knocked down the opponents for them, and they just got free 2 kills and such. But in the end of the day, they didn't get the booyah, and circle was not in their favor as well as I can see, and loot was not in the favor of the team for Team Eclipse as well, because they had not much meds to work with. They had not much. I think there are not much utilities like grenades to work with as well. I think just that some of the teams are just not having a good day.
Yeah. Well, hopefully today is going to be a better one for some of these teams that didn't quite perform for today's matches. Any final words before we close on out? To any special words you want to say to the viewers, or maybe any thoughts you're looking forward to for tomorrow's games?
I mean, right now the point distribution is pretty tight, right? A lot of these teams can definitely catch up to any point of this matter, such as Special Army MY from the bottom of the scoreboard all the way to the middle part of the scoreboard. So, like we said, this is the point of time where we kind of bite our fingers. This is the point of time where we just can expect the unexpected. So, ladies and gentlemen, you definitely would not want to miss out whatever action that is going to unfold tomorrow. And thank you so much for watching today as well.
I can say is anything can happen. Look at how these teams play today. Anything can happen. Sometimes you expect the strong teams to play like how they usually play, but sometimes the unexpected will come towards the game as well. As we can see, all I can say is anything can happen in Free Fire. Expect the unexpected.
All right, Abstract and Shadow Banjo, thank you so much for joining me for today. My name is Danielle. I've been your host for a fantastic day of Free Fire. And I know for everyone that's watching, if you're wondering what the maps are going to be for tomorrow, it is Bermuda and Kalahari. So no more Purgatory. And we'll have to find out and see whether or not our teams from last week will manage to make the catch-up happen, or if we could be seeing some brand new kings for tomorrow. That's it for us. We will see all of your wonderful faces tomorrow. And until then, I hope each and every one of you score a booyah tonight. See you later.
Una mattina mi sono alzato, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Una mattina mi sono alzato e ho trovato l'invaso, oh partigiano, portami via.
Down. Asik sekali lagi. Granat launcher balik berjaya mendapatkan kill 14. Untuk mendapatkan buaya di sini. Peluang telah dibuka. Titan ditekan dan ditekan. Dan
una mattina mi sono alzato, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Una mattina mi sono alzato e ho trovato l'invaso. Oh partigiano, portami via, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Partigiano, portami via, che mi sento di morire. E se io muoio da partigiano, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. E se io muoio da partigiano, tu mi devi seppellire.
You thought you knew my story. This world is unjust and cruel. I won't know more of it. That's why you're here. They say you like to pry, but I only see curiosity. People call you reckless. I see you of no fear, where others see your arrogance. I only see grit. They call you sly and hasty, but you bring the quick wit. Why are you here? For a bank, biggest of all. We're taking back what's been stolen, and it will be the greatest heist you ever joined. Get ready for Plan Bermuda.
E seppellire lassù in montagna. Oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao. Garena.
Una mattina mi sono alzato, oh bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Una mattina mi sono alzato e ho trovato lì